Recording. All right, now we're recording.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, just to catch up, Kaylee just talked about her favorite slurs for like.
Yeah, Harry's trying to get me to say slurs.
Yeah.
I won't do it.
I have gotten all of my guests to say slurs at some point.
On the podcast?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah, I've had to bleep. I don't know if Harold said any slurs, but you know what else I've gotten every
What?
single guest to do? Talk shit on at some point.
Oh my God. That's so mean.
No, I'm kidding.
Why, you don't like her?
She just
Tell me
seems
the
like
tea.
such an unpleasant person.
Oh my God.
I don't think I've ever had a good interaction with her. Yeah.
You talk comedy drama on your podcast?
Yeah.
Wow, comics really don't watch this, huh? Just
Nobody watches this, just the
just the gay
freaks.
guys
Yeah.
who like
If comics watch
men in
this,
socks.
I would go from not getting booked to not getting booked. So it would
Okay.
be really bad.
Gay men on the internet that watch this podcast, kudos to you. Can you verify for me? Because Harry was like, yeah, well, Max and I are both twinks. And I said, I feel like Max is a little more of a twunk. And I need confirmation of that. I think you're
And
a twink.
what's a twunk?
A twunk is like a buff twink.
It's very insulting. It's incredibly insulting.
It's like a twink.
You're
who
just
looks
calling
good.
me a twink. Oh, you're not. So I'm not even a good-looking twink.
No, you're cute.
Cute.
You're cutie.
Cute means
well, you're
nothing.
like younger than me. I like old. You know what I mean? What am I gonna say? I like old
Isn't
guys.
Max younger than you?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Your logic.
You look younger though.
That's true.
You look a lot younger than him. I feel like.
That's
I feel like you're
true.
like the same age though, right?
I think no, he's I think a year older than me.
Okay. Well, that's the same age.
I mean, either way, your logic fell apart.
And what?
And him being a twunk.
And what? Well.
Damn
no,
it.
No, he's still a twunk. You're still a twink. It's the difference between you being a cutie pie and him being like hot.
So I'm not hot, but I'm a cutie pie.
Yeah.
That's why this girl ended things, just because
Do you wanna get into it?
I'm a cutie pie.
Talk about it.
Not really.
Okay.
I'm just.
Well, you brought it up, so
Yeah, I did.
that's on you.
I'm just a little bitch.
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you get laid?
No,
Bummer.
I have not.
How far did you go? What happened?
We got very close, and then she was like, "Have you been?" We were like, she asked if I wanted to, and we were on top of each other, and she was like, "When was the last time you've been tested?" And I said, "I've never been tested."
You fumbled that bag.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Do you have a condom?" And I was like, "I don't. I don't have a condom."
You fumbled.
And that was
that
on the third date, and then we had a
bag.
fourth and a fifth, and then I was like certain that we were
Whoa.
gonna have another one, and then she ended things.
So it was third date, which is the standard for a proper young lady.
Apparently, I don't really date, but apparently, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really subscribe to those laws either.
Yeah, I go first
Yeah.
every time.
You have crusty in your eye, by the way.
God damn
I
it,
probably
dude.
do too. Now
Which
that I'm
one?
Talking about it. The one I'm looking at. It's closer to me.
How am I supposed to? Wait, you know how when you're talking to people, do you ever get in your head about which eye you're looking at? Because you
I haven't
you
in
can
a
like look
while.
at their left eye or their
Yeah,
right
I
eye.
guess you're right. I haven't in a
Yeah, it's
while.
very.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to do that
No.
because then I get. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
I just wanted to tell you because I hate when I have food in my teeth and people don't tell me, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
I know. I hate when people get offended when you tell them.
Oh, no,
It's like
I
I'm
love
trying to
it.
help you.
Yeah, I'm more mad if you don't. Like,
Yeah,
I've
totally.
just been standing here the whole time with my fly
That's
down.
so
Why didn't you
fucked.
say something?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole fly thing, and then you're like, dude, your fly's down. They're like, why were you looking there? It's like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't know.
Maybe because you're
I'm not allowed to check a guy out.
Was
Yeah,
in
exactly.
my eyesight.
It's really hard
Tiny little pee-pee.
when you see guys that are wearing sweatpants or shorts, and you just see their like whole cock outline. It's really hard to not
Mm-hmm.
look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to actually have a bit of that going on in
Okay.
in
Okay,
college
humble brag.
because
Okay.
no. I'm not saying it's anything crazy. It's fine, but
Mm.
there was like a video of me deadlifting that my friend took, and in deadlifting you like thrust your hips all the way out.
Oh.
What I'm trying to
So
say
you're
is
like flinging hog all
flinging
around
hog,
the gym.
just pushing it as far
They're
out as I
gonna love
could.
this, by the way.
Fuck, dude.
Viewers, take your shoes off.
No, Oh yeah. I'm gonna take my shoes off at some point in this podcast, but I'm not gonna tell you when. So watch time is gonna go up. Yeah, so that's the thing is it's
That's
a symbiotic relationship between me and the foot
right,
guys.
Right. They get what they need. You get what you need.
Yes. Let me just make sure this is recording. Okay, yeah. Oh, also, at 500 subscribers, I will be starting a Patreon where we're at like the hour mark of every podcast. We're gonna just take off our shoes and have our socks out. If that
So like the regular podcast cuts off at an
kind of
hour.
like a Matt and Shane thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you don't have to be here for more than an hour, by the way. I don't want to
Well,
pressure
I live
you.
right there, so it's not really a burden either way.
Okay. I don't want you to feel burdened.
I do not feel
What
burdened.
were we saying just before that?
We're talking about that girl that dumped you, and then your
Gay
penis.
guys. Oh, so I just had never really
Do you
processed.
have a big penis?
What?
Do you have a big penis?
The
This
y-
I learned about
yeah.
men, which confuses me. Maybe gay men, maybe tell me if this is incorrect, but straight men at least don't compare penises.
No, we do.
You do?
Oh, I have a great story for you.
Okay.
But this is gonna. Oh, my audience is gonna eat this up. All right, so
I'm doing this for you.
All right,
fellas.
full disclosure, I've got a pretty good situation,
Okay.
and I know that because I was with a girl
Hard or
who
flaccid or both?
uh
You shower grower?
I'm definitely a grower,
Okay.
but I don't know who's not. But
Well, you'd be surprised.
There are some people
are
who
like
aren't-
4 inches and they're like 5 hard. You're like, oh.
that sucks.
Yeah,
That sucks.
I
But
know.
I mean, in the summer, plus also I have like my saggy nuts because of my varicose veins. So in the summer, I mean, it's just a wrecking
Saggy
ball.
nuts,
Yeah,
me.
seriously.
I want to
My,
change
they're
your
like
phone to that.
almost. Thank you. That would be an honor. Can you introduce me at Easy Bar next time?
Oh,
as Saggy Nuts
totally.
McGee.
Saggy nuts.
But so me and Matt Calhoun. Well, so I had a girl that I was with, and she was like obsessed with it, and she would like measure it and stuff.
Your nuts.
Not my nose.
Oh.
That would
you
be
move your
way
balls?
crazier. If she was like, I just want to see how long your balls are. Wait, what were you saying?
Now I want you to measure them. 'cause
My
I'm
nuts?
Yeah.
I mean, they get longer every day.
That's so crazy. Are they like
Well-
as long as your penis?
They hang lower
Whoa.
right now in the summer. Oh my god.
Wow.
I mean, I have varicose veins. It's a medical issue.
I don't. Okay.
I have extra veins in my nutsack, so like my testicles. It's not funny. It's an issue. I'm in pain always. I'm literally like constantly
They
in
must look
pain.
so gross and weird.
Yeah, they do.
Are you
But
self-conscious of them?
no, because if somebody's focusing on your nuts, that's just a very bad sign.
Yeah.
But anyway, so me and Matt Calhoun were in. He did me a favor. No, yeah, I did. He did me a favor, so I was like, I'll take you out to eat somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought me to the DMV, did all my stuff for me, and then he chose this pizza place, and him and I just. All right. Him and I just sat there talking about our dick sizes and like comparing our dick sizes, and we found out we basically have like the exact same size, and we were literally like geeking out on each other's penis sizes.
Wait, but you don't compare. Like you don't look at each other's though. You just talk about it.
Yeah,
you
we
guys,
just
you men measure it.
we just analyze. Well, that's what I had a girl measure mine for me.
How long?
I I feel weird saying this. On a good day, 7.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good.
I'd say 6.5
It's
average.
borderline.
The girth is where it really.
I've talked about this on other podcasts before because there's a limit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fine. That's good. But
Thank
sometimes
you.
it's like too much, and you're like, girl, why?
I've never worried about having too much. I've never been. I've never been like that's a concern.
yeah.
All,
No
yeah,
complaints.
but
Skinny?
no,
Girthy.
girthy. That's the number one quality I'd say.
Wow.
That I'm most proud of.
Oh wow.
I know it's very unusual. I think there's like a thing with
What are we
skinny
talking
guys.
about here? Are we talking about like cucumber?
Pringles can?
No.
I'm kidding. I've like I don't. I need to measure the circumference sometime, but
Yeah, I'm curious.
it's weird looking.
Is it?
Mm.
All penises are weird looking for the most
They
part.
are, but I feel like mine's especially weird looking.
Really? Are you circumcised?
Uncut.
Whoa.
Yeah. Me and Max Sorich.
Oh my God. Max
Yeah.
uncut?
Looks like there are 2 twunks now.
Whoa. I think you're misunderstanding what a twunk is. Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, but I
Good
mean,
for your moms.
my penis used to be so small. I mean, everybody's penis used to be small, but like before I hit puberty so late, like so late.
Does your penis grow substantially during puberty?
Oh my God, that's
Really?
the number one thing.
So you just like it's like a power up. Where it's like
It's like an
like a one-
Animorphs.
That's
It
great.
just
I
turns
used to
into a
love
beast.
Animorphs.
Yeah.
Wait, but to get back to my other question, can you move your balls?
Can I what?
Move your balls?
Yeah, I can like lift them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just learned that men can do this.
How did you just know that?
Literally terrified me.
We started talking about this, like how.
I saw it happen and I was like,
Whoa, what?
I was like, what?
What was the
is going on?
scenario?
I was scared. Well, I was like hooking up with the guy. This was a little while ago.
What angle were you at?
I just like playing with his penis. A little while ago. And then he like started moving his balls and I was like, I like got scared. I was like, what? But I was fascinated. And I was like, do it again. And I was like, ah! And I got scared.
Whoa, how much travel did he have?
It was, I mean, there's a lift.
Yeah,
There's a good
yeah.
lift.
It's kind of like a Kegel, I guess.
Yeah, that's what he
For
compared it
us.
to. And I was like, okay, that makes sense, I guess. But I just didn't know it could happen.
Yeah.
And it scared me.
I have good
and then I started
testicle.
asking all my friends if they could do that.
And they've all corroborated yes, I assume.
Most
If-
of
if
them,
they
but
say
then my
no,
friend's
then-
partner can't apparently.
She's got to get out of there.
I know. Sorry,
Wait,
Nick.
is this the partner that is like a huge asshole?
No.
Oh, you have a friend that you did stand up about, and like her partner never made her finish. She was like engaged to him or something, and you had a sleepover with her.
Oh my God.
That
True.
guy? Yeah.
No, not that guy.
Oh, okay,
that
that's
one's
good.
That one's rough too. Yeah.
I'm glad. I was gonna just. What is it?
No, this is another
What's
person.
the deal with penises from a female's
Good
perspective?
question.
Do you like them?
Yeah,
Because they're so gross, and I feel like girls don't really like. If
they're
you
gross. Some are cute though. Some are cute.
cute's not a good adjective,
Some are cute. It's good. It's better than gross.
but I feel like gross is
It's
like
good. Balls are gross.
balls are
are always
gross, but who cares about balls?
I think penises can be nice. I mean, I like a good. I like penises.
But you don't like penises in the same way that we like boobs. Do you see what I'm saying? Boobs are like this beautiful, like
Yeah.
hang it in the Louvre kind of thing.
Nothing's as good as boobs. Even
Nobody-
women love boobs. We
I-
squeeze our own boobs all the time.
What?
We squeeze our own boobs all the time.
Boobs are so cool.
They're so cool.
They're so fun.
They are.
And
I like them a lot.
yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's nice.
'Cause like yeah. Well, so do you are you proud of your assets?
Breasts?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, that's cool.
definitely.
Huh.
I like. Well, okay. So here's the thing. I have like, for my size, I have big boobs. But they're deceptive. They're deceptively big. But
That's the best kind.
yeah. But it's not
So
like
you're a grower.
they're not like yeah. They're like massive where I'm getting like back pains.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
My friend
Nice
was
middle
like,
ground.
one time she was like, actually, you don't have that big boobs. And I was like, okay, sorry, I don't have like K's hanging down to my knees.
Yeah, what?
But like every guy that's seen them has been like, oh, they're way bigger than I thought. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
Get in on that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
You want
friggin-
that. Yeah, you want to be, you want to,
Yeah.
well, you want to promise low and then deliver high.
Undersell, over deliver.
Exactly.
I used to watch The
Exactly.
Bachelor with my mom a lot,
Yeah.
and Bachelor in Paradise. This one
I
guy,
love Bachelor in Paradise.
pretty solid.
Oh, it's so much better than The Bachelor.
Yeah, it's just so much drama.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like Love Island, but with The Bachelor contestants. It's
Can I tell you a story about how pathetic I am?
yes.
So I went to because I play lacrosse. I played lacrosse in college.
You're such a lacrosse player. If I had to
But-
guess a sport
but
you
that's
played,
the
it'd be
thing.
lacrosse.
Is like everybody sees me in the comedy scene as like such a lax bro or whatever, but I really am like this.
You just said the word lax, bro. You should kill yourself.
That's the all right.
You're like, I
lax
can't believe
dude.
people see me as a lacrosse player, and then you just said lax.
It's the
bro.
term. It's the term. Anyway, I think people like during roast battle, like most of the jokes are like rapey, jock, like
Yeah,
that kind
make
of
it pretty
thing.
creative.
Yeah, exactly.
I get like horse.
but
and,
it's
like,
weird. That's funny.
Mustache. Yeah.
It's funny that that's like the perception of me because I'm such in the lacrosse world. I'm such like I'm a twink,
Mhm.
you know, because like I went to an all goalie lacrosse camp, and
You're a goalie.
yeah,
Interesting.
goalie's the best.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great character building position. I think it's helped a lot with stand up, honestly.
Hmm.
But I was at an all goalie camp and I didn't really mesh well with any of the other guys there. I was just being a hermit, staying in my room, and I literally was just staying in my room while everybody else was like playing. And there were two parts of the campus. There was like an upper part and a lower part, and there
Mhm.
were half the kids were here, and then the younger kids were on this part of the campus.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of the night, a bunch of the older like the high school goalies, snuck over to the younger building, and they kidnapped this little Asian kid that had a helmet autographed by Miles Jones.
That's so fucked
They
up.
kidnapped him.
Like, really took him?
They kidnapped him, brought him across campus, and then put icy hot on his balls. And I heard the screams in the hallway.
Wait, that's like
Correct.
horrible.
Yeah. And then they were all putting
Oh, is it
icy
hazing
hot.
Thing?
I don't know.
That's awful.
But goalies are pretty crazy, and they
men
were
are mean to each other. I mean, girls are too, but men are just
it's a different kind of
physically
mean.
Women are like emotionally mean.
Yeah, men are like I'm gonna make you
Yeah, men want to physically
want
harm
to
each
tap
other.
out. Correct. And they put icy hot on this kid's balls, and then they put
Wow.
icy hot on their balls, and they're like running up and down the hallway screaming. And then I heard outside my door, as I was eating microwave popcorn, trying to watch Caitlin Bristow's season of The Bachelorette on my laptop.
this is like
on my
OG,
laptop.
That's the old
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, with Nick Vile when he came on
Oh, I hate
out of
Nick Vile.
nowhere,
What a nasty
and then she said he
little-
wasn't that great in bed.
I believe it.
T.
You know
Anyway,
why? Because he thinks he's pretty. Men that think they're pretty are always like, ugh.
I've
no
always
way."
thought I am super pretty.
You always thought
No,
that?
I'm kidding.
I was like, this is all checking out.
But anyway, I heard them outside of the door, and they were like,
Mm.
what about that kid in there? Should we get him? And then I heard my roommates just be like, nah, he's cool. Like
You
referring
were
to
like, they
me.
were gonna come for
And I
you?
was like,
You were so close.
as I was watching her being like, will you accept this room? Yeah, it was
Who did
pretty
she
bad.
pick on her season? She didn't end up staying
She
with
picked
him.
the blonde guy.
Ugh, I hate blonde guys. No offense. You're a cutie.
Twink. Hate blonde guys. No. I've been trying to convince my friends of this for quite some time. Being a blonde guy is like being an Asian guy. Because our female counterparts, everybody wants to fuck them. But nobody
Yes.
wants to fuck a blonde guy.
You gotta be.
That's
you
why
have
this
to
girl
have, be in,
got
yeah.
rid of me. It's because I'm blonde. Blonde is
Yeah.
not a good
You
look on
gotta
guys.
overcome it. Is the thing. It's like
It
it's not
is.
a no-go, but it's like you have to have a spectacular personality.
I completely agree. I have to make women attracted to me.
Some Asian men are hot.
Some Asian men are very hot. I know a few. Daniel Lee,
I really like
Jeff Zhao, not Zhang.
like Indian guys, like East Asian guys.
No.
They're hot. I like them.
No. I mean,
Not in a fetish way, you
the
guys.
hot of any. For me, it is in a fetish way. The hottest of any group. It's like gingers.
Men love ginger women. Men
They're-
love
They're
redheads.
beautiful. I mean, but it's also like the.
I think it's just like rare.
The high end, yes. The high end of ginger is so high, and the low end is so low.
Oh.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah. I do.
but I feel with blonde guys, I looked up statistics on this. Blonde guys are perceived as the least attractive
Mm-hmm.
out of every single
know-
hair color.
Why I think it is. I think it's because dark hair is associated with like testosterone, like dominance. Is
Yeah.
that accurate? No, but like it's associated with that. So in our minds, it's like typically women skew to more masculine, but not always.
Maybe that's why men like blondes too.
yeah, because it's like associated
I don't
with like
like blondes,
femininity. No.
Isn't that weird? I've sort of come around to them, but
Yeah.
generally I'm super into dark hair.
I do believe you, but I feel like often guys are
That's
like.
what everybody says to me when I say this.
Yeah. I do believe you, but so many guys I've talked to are like, actually, I prefer brunettes. And then I was a brunette my whole life, and then I dyed my hair blonde, and you'd be shocked at how many people look at you in a room just because you have a blonde.
Did it
head.
really change everything?
Yes.
Isn't that
like
that's
men
such,
approach me
that's
so much
such
more.
garbage?
Yeah.
That's such garbage that you just appropriate my culture, and then you just get all this attention.
Why don't you appropriate mine? Why don't you dye your hair dark?
I would look like a freak.
What?
I don't know.
All right.
If
They're
I
definitely blonde.
if I had dark, okay, I think they were urban gentlemen, but
I'm sorry. Well, back that up real quick. No, elaborate.
no, like Sambiru. That
What? Friendly?
no,
Funny?
darker fellas,
Personality-wise? Hair-wise?
all the above.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, it's such bullshit that like women
Yeah.
can just have like
Yeah.
this fun
I
little
spent
thing
a lot of money for it, though,
where they.
okay? It ain't
I don't.
cheap.
I don't care.
It ain't cheap,
The
bitch.
benefits outweigh the fucking cost.
True.
To get if I could just dye my hair and just immediately guarantee that more women
Yeah.
are paying attention to me,
Yeah.
I would immediately do that. But I know that my facial, I'm super pale too,
Yeah.
and I have like the blonde blue
Women
eye
like
thing.
that. It's a vampire thing.
Yeah. I know. Well, I do think the biggest problem with blonde men is the lack of contrast.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Contrast is in right now.
Contrast is very in.
Yeah. Also, like being biracial
It just gives
is
you
in.
something visually to like look at, you know, the
Yeah.
contrast.
The only time I've ever gotten women.
You're biracial? Did you say biracial?
I am biracial.
You're not biracial.
No, I'm white and white. But I was saying biracial's in right now,
Yeah.
and I'm like the opposite of biracial. I'm like a purebred. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um,
I like that we're breaking these down to fads, like people's races. Down to
I mean, they
trends.
are. They sort of are.
No, I get what you mean though.
I know a guy
Yeah,
named
yeah.
Quinn Stokes. He's a 6'5" biracial stallion. I've never seen any.
What do you
I
mean? Is this like one parent black, one parent's white, or something?
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, it's a superpower. Women will just. They're just. It's magnetic.
Yeah.
Well, I like to talk a
I
lot.
think it's a thing of like it's different. Like we were talking about how it's not like
Yeah.
you see a million blonde white guys. You know, you see.
No,
a
you
million
don't though. We're a minority.
You are.
We're a minority.
Not.
That's. Are there any blonde guys?
Well, we're around in a park full of children.
That doesn't change anything. They should be more blonde, if anything. That's true.
That is true. Yeah.
Blonde guys are the minority. Statistically, I'm more of a minority than black people.
Okay. All right.
Statistically.
All right.
Statistically, I am.
Relax.
Statistically, I am.
Okay.
If you look at Black
Okay.
Americans,
Hitler would love you, by the way.
I know.
You little Aryan.
I have a
twink.
new joke about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you have. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How he would have. I have to reconcile with the fact that the most
He would've
evil
fucking
person
loved
would have
me.
loved me.
Yeah.
And I want to
That
do
is
an
funny.
angle of like, we've all dated a Hitler before, you know? Just a guy who gasses you up constantly,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all your friends
That's
are
like
like,
these guys. They're kind of like Hitler, the ones that watch and are into your feet.
you hear that, foot guys? You
Yeah.
are Hitler.
Heard it
Oh
here
man,
first.
they're really gonna feel shamed now.
They're gonna love that.
Do you guys like the shame?
It's probably a thing, right? I don't know.
It would be
By
weird.
the way, the foot thing, weird, yeah. Not the weirdest kink in the world. Not the weirdest kink.
Not
the
it's
weirdest
not the
kink.
yeah. I mean,
Straight men want to choke me and pretend I'm their stepdaughter. You know what I mean?
we've
It's like
all wanted to do that. That's not
that's
that
way
weird.
weirder. That's violent. You just want to harm women. It's not a kink.
I don't want to harm women. Well, so wait, men have just tried to pretend you're their stepdaughter?
Like
Do
they,
tell,
like they want.
because I know you're into
they
older
want weird
men.
stuff like that. They want a lot of dudes want this weird stuff. I mean, I've like. I don't do it too crazy, but like I've hooked up with dudes. It's like I feel like most women have had this, and I've never been essayed or anything. Thank God, unlike most of the friends I have. But like, so many women have stories, and I included, where you're like, that felt weirdly violent, and I didn't say yes. Like, I wasn't asked if that was something I
Yeah.
wanted to do, and you just did it because you watch too much porn and think that's what sex is.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Straight men are weird.
But
They're
then
nasty.
there's the flip side of that. I'm not justifying that. That stuff's fucked up. It's wrong. The girl I was literally with before she ended things.
It's like if you're into that, I guess it's okay. But there's a conversation. That
that's
needs
what
to be
I'm. Okay,
had.
that's
There needs to be a
exactly what I'm
conversation
saying.
about
But
it.
then
It's
also,
still weird, but like if you're both into it, fine. Who
if you're
cares?
both into it, the other person doesn't want you to have that conversation. There's a Louis joke about this.
I disagree. I
Really?
mean, I think it's people with extreme trauma don't, for sure. But a lot of like the BDSM community, that whole thing is about consent. Like, it's fun because
good.
there's a safe word and because it's like controlled.
There's definitely some dark horses in that community.
Yeah, but those are just women that like need to see therapists.
True. True.
And
that's
men
true.
as well.
Louis C.K. has a bit where he was like, he had sex with a woman, and then after she was like, "Why weren't you more like rough with me? I have a rape kink," and he's like, "You think I'm just gonna rape you on the off chance
Right.
that you're into that?"
No, I know. I definitely knew a girl in college that like would go out and just get like fucked up because she like kind of wanted it, but she.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because
She
you're,
wanted
like,
it. That's the
not
point.
Rape doesn't
She
mean
wanted
it's
it,
not
yeah.
rape. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, it still is just like.
Well, there's sort of me and Max talked about this, the rape catch-22. If you want to be raped, you can't be raped. Because
No, I disagree. I fully disagree. Because so many people, like, if you communicate about it, yeah, it's not. There's a guy behind us. It's not. But if there's no communication, like, he's still doing that to you. And you're going to just have to deal with that 5-10 years down the line when you can actually process it, that you were assaulted.
Yes.
It's not going to go, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't
Okay,
just make
so
it
you're
okay.
saying after the fact you might be like, I didn't consent to all that? I didn't want all that?
Well, if
Like, if
you want something but you don't communicate that you want it, it's not consent.
If you want something but you don't communicate that you want it, it's not consent.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I know there's lots of stories of, you know how guys are like, oh, well, if an older teacher is into you or whatever, and you're like 17, it's like cool and hot, but it's like, okay, you think that probably at the time because you're a child, but then when you're in your 20s and 30s, a lot of them have extreme issues and have to like work it out in there because they realize.
Yeah, and
later
then they
on-
probably molest a kid.
No,
What?
I'm talking about the other way around. So like, if you're like a 17-year-old kid,
Wait, you're saying the guy has problems.
right?
That's what I'm saying. And then later on, he'll.
Oh yeah, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah, maybe, or like you just have like all this trauma associated with it because at the time you're like it's cool and fun, but you were also too young
were a
to be able to make
child.
that choice.
Totally. And you didn't. Yeah, you didn't.
And you were assaulted, and like you just didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
This got really heavy.
No. Because I definitely would. I would definitely be one of those people who would just be too scared if the teacher was hitting on me, which sucks. But it doesn't-
No, yeah.
What do you mean?
You should be frightened if a grown woman's being weird to you
If it was.
as a child.
But it's kind of like, as a boy, it's like this is such a cool opportunity.
That's what I mean, though. But it's like, and you think that, like, okay, I'll give you an example. When I was, like, in my early 20s, like, older guys were into me because, whatever. That's probably why I have a thing with older guys. But, like, whatever. And I was young, so I thought it was cool, and I was like a late bloomer, so I was like, oh my god, I'm finally sexually attracted to these people.
Yeah.
This is so cool. And like, nothing ever happened or whatever. But I remember years later, like having to figure out, and was like, oh, actually, that wasn't cool at all, and they were taking advantage of me because I was young and willing, and they did not respect me, and it wasn't cool. They were just gonna do it with anybody.
That's fucked up.
You know, and I didn't even have to deal with the trauma of being like assaulted or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
And like if you added that, you know what I mean?
That's just the emotional.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then, but if you're like assaulted, compound that by like 50 times, you know?
I've never understood the being into younger women thing.
It's
unless
weird
it's
if
like
if it's like, if there's nothing wrong with it, unless it's weird to me if it's habitual. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you do it, sure.
If you're like 35 and you date like a 22-year-old, there's nothing wrong with that unless you're taking advantage of them. But if you are 35 and only date 22-year-olds, then it's like, what mommy issues do we need to work out here that we have not?
Do you think that's a mommy issue?
It's an issue.
Yeah, it is an
It's
issue.
It's probably an immaturity thing, and it's a skill issue. Where it's like 35-year-old women clearly don't want your nasty loser ass, so you have to go for these young girls because they don't realize that you suck yet.
Yeah. Yeah, they're easier to trick.
Yeah. Yeah. Young people are stupid.
We're all so stupid.
Yeah.
Doesn't that suck?
But if you throw it around, I respect people that are like, yeah, I date 25-year-olds. I also date 40-year-olds. I'm like, all right, that's cool. You just like women, probably.
The guys date 40-year-olds?
Yeah, like or whoever. If anybody if you date a range of ages, it's like, oh, you just like dating, I guess. I don't know.
How can you like that?
Why not? 40-year-old women? They're in their sexual peak, their sexual prime.
I'd like a woman to take me under her wing.
Yeah.
And like take care of me, and
sugar mommy.
I mean, I've talked about this, but I was never into older women, and then I started coaching, and you see all the moms, and it instantly flips a switch in your head where you're like, holy shit, because you see them like caring
like
for their offspring.
I feel like MILF's a big thing, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't ever watch MILF porn though.
No.
It's weird.
What kind of porn do you like?
I normally go for like amateur stuff where it's like homemade. I'm really about authenticity. Yeah. My entire Gary Shandling's kind of got me on this authenticity thing.
Okay.
And
I don't know who that
I've
is.
parlayed it. You don't know who Gary Shandling
no,
is?
should I know? Is that a guy thing?
Oh
what is that?
No, that's a fucking comedian. He's one of the greatest.
I don't really watch much comedy anymore. I used to watch comedy so much.
My
But
God.
since doing it, I don't really watch a lot of it.
That's upsetting.
I know.
Well, his whole thing was the key to comedy is you just have to be you. Like you just have to be, he would always just write in his notebooks, be Gary. Be Gary. I know it sounds gay.
Yeah.
But I think he is right to a degree. And like
I think that's true.
There's like a definite amount of comedy that is just like figuring out who you are and then trying
Finding
to
your
present
voice.
that
Yeah.
to people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that are just doing like imitations of other people.
100%.
And you're just nothing's ever
Especially
really
when you first start, because it's like you don't know what stand-up is, you don't know how to do it, so all you know is who you think is funny.
Of course.
So you're just doing those people. Like I was just doing Jezelnik my first 6 months.
No way,
Yeah.
dude! I started and I like was writing exactly like Jeselnik.
Yeah. I just used to write like one-liners, like dark humor.
Oh my god, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have a Jeselnik joke? Like, so I literally in my notebook I separate my jokes. There are dad jokes, Jeselnik jokes, and deep dive jokes. And I have like 5 Jeselnik jokes in my
nice.
Rolodex.
Yeah.
Do you have a Jeselnik joke that you wrote?
I used to just do them all the time, like where it would just be like, this is one thing, and I'll misdirect you over here, and it's a little dark and weird, and I love his writing style, but he's so good because like I mean, not that he's like recreating the real, but like he's so himself.
I was gonna say you're so upbeat and energetic.
Yeah.
That's the exact reason I had to break out of it because I was like, I'm not this guy.
Yeah.
I'm not cool.
Well, I remember when I first started, he's so cool. But when I first
Which
started,
pisses me
I
off,
told my
but-
best friend Sam, I was living with her at the time, and I was like, I was watching him and like a lot of Mulaney and stuff, and I was like, I think I'm gonna be a really dry comic, and she was like, okay, we'll see how that goes.
I would love to watch you doing a dry set.
It just wouldn't work. It didn't make any sense from personality, but I like his writing style, so I've tried to incorporate that into
Totally.
a longer form and be sillier with it. Like in my mind, my biggest inspirations for comedy are like Jeselnik writing wise, but then like Jim Carrey and like Robin Williams stylistically.
Wow. That's an insane
I know.
dichotomy.
I know. And I'm not anywhere close to anything any of them are doing, but they're like
I have noticed that
they're
you
on my,
have
like,
that
Mount
Jeselnik thing
Rushmore.
going on in your
Really?
bits though, where you
Really?
always you always build up to one thing and then you just turn it on its head.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you do it in like a very energetic way.
Thank you.
Obviously,
Yeah.
which
No,
is
I love him.
different than Justin.
Valerie loves him too.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's great.
he's such a good writer.
Yeah. People have made fun of me. Like I have like a Justin shirt that's like dope as hell.
I've
And-
seen that. It is dope.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
It's really cool. I used to make fun of him too because he used to have terrible merch. But anyways, I've worn
He
the shirt.
did.
People are like, you're like Anthony Jeselnik, the lamest one-liners ever. And I'm like, okay, guy at an open mic.
Oh, sorry. It's the purest form of comedy, actually.
Guy at an open mic who's been doing this for 15 years and still sucks. Like, yeah, Jeselnik is awful. Like,
Who was that?
I'm not gonna say. But just like people just fuck with you, and it's like you're totally allowed to have opinions, but like your opinion's bad. Like that's okay.
Yeah. Also, it's like this is my struggle with Matt Rife. Is like you can shit on him all you want, but he's a successful comedian.
Yeah, he's making.
So
he's
it's
doing
like
something.
clearly
right.
he's doing something
right.
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 So
Yeah.
and Jeselnik
Yeah.
is
And if he's not your flavor, I get it. Like there are
Totally.
plenty of
He
great
doesn't have to
comics
be.
that aren't my flavor, and I'm
Oh
like,
my
no, but like
God.
Maria Bamford, I just can't catch the rhythm for her.
I can't
But
either.
I acknowledge that she's really fucking good at what she does.
Absolutely.
And well, I would never go up to somebody and be like, oh my God, you're a Maria Bamford fan? What are you?
a fucking
Stupid?
idiot.
Yeah. Like no, it's like she's great.
That's
she's
part
just
of-
like not my style.
It's part of maturing is understanding that just because you don't like
100%.
something doesn't mean you have
Doesn't mean
to
it's objectively
think
bad.
it's shit. Yeah.
Exactly.
My mom, while I was home, was trying to. There's kind of a disconnect with my mom and stand up and that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she was trying to desperately to connect with me, and she was like, "Show me some of your favorite stand-up comedians,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see." Because I want to know like what you like.
Mm-hmm.
And she did not laugh at like anything I showed her. So that it just got to me pandering to her
Yeah.
eventually. But I started with Daniel Tosh. She hated it.
I love Tosh.
Tosh is my favorite.
I love Tosh.
Norm and Tosh are my favorite stand-ups
I
of all
love
time.
Tosh.
I've listened to People Pleaser over 50 times.
Really?
I can literally do the entire album front to
Yeah.
back. I love it
Yeah.
so much I can't
I
even
actually
explain.
haven't watched a lot of Tosh's stand-up. I just love him as a personality.
His stand-up is phenomenal.
Yeah.
His writing is so good.
Yeah.
And then there was a comic that ripped an hour from him. Like he like recorded the hour while
Yeah.
he was at the Mirage, and I have that hour
Oh,
on my
really?
phone. It's so good.
That's dope.
But anyway,
You should send that to me.
so I showed my mom Tosh. She didn't like it, and then I showed her because one of my favorite Anthony Jeselnik bits of all time is the dropping your babies bit. Like
yeah.
I will drop your baby.
Yeah.
It's a 2-step process, maybe less. But I showed her that entire. It's like an 8-minute bit, and my mom just did not laugh a single time.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Do you like any women comics?" And I was like,
Don't
"You're
be
not
one of
really
those guys.
inspiring me."
Don't
But
be- yeah.
I know I put on Michelle Wolf,
Okay.
and she had like a phenomenal bit in
Yeah.
that about how the Native Americans like. It was definitely a woman's idea to give them the blankets with the smallpox. It's like the most passive aggressive way to kill
Totally.
people.
That's
that
hilarious.
I saw that and I was like, "Damn, that's really good."
So funny.
I sh-
I remember. Also, men hate women, especially comedians. Men
yeah,
hate female comedians.
they do.
Hate them.
Yeah.
I did this show in like bumblefuck nowhere with
That's a good place.
with Joe Kilgallen King, and it was awful. It was a horrible show, and it was like tables were so spread apart. It was this huge venue, and there was like maybe 50 people, and the tables were so spread, and we could just tell we're like, this is not gonna be a fun comedy
Yeah.
venue. We're just gonna have to get through it, right? And I did my set. They hated me. They did not like me, and I got off stage, and afterwards I'm like sitting up front while the headliner's doing his set, and I'm talking to like the guy who like owns the place or whatever, and he's talking to me. He goes, oh, like just trying to be nice, but like fully was just being so rude inadvertently. And he was like, good set. And I was like, you don't have to say that, but thank you, that kind of thing. Like we both know I didn't have
Yeah.
a good set. And he was like, yeah, I don't think women are funny. Said this to my face. And I was like, and what am I supposed to do? He owns this place. So I was like, haha, cool. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, mm-hmm.
Whoa.
He's like, I don't really find women very funny, but
but
I do like this person. And I'm like, cool, yeah, she's great. And then he just goes into all of these. And he's like, who do you like? And I'm like, all right, well, I don't want this guy to fucking be an asshole to me. So I'm just thinking of I'm like, he hates women. So let me think of the most dude bro. And I'm like, Bill Burr, because I do love Bill Burr. And I'm
Sure.
like, Bill Burr, I'm sure this guy
Safe
loves Bill
option.
Burr. And he's like, oh, yeah, Bill Burr's great. And I'm like, Tom Segura, you know, like these people that I do think
Bert
are funny.
Kreischer.
Right, but like that men who hate women will
Yeah,
also
yeah,
like.
yeah.
But it's so funny how blatant he didn't even think that was rude to say that to me. I don't think women are funny.
Yeah.
He is a female comedian.
That is fucking insane to say to somebody. I was just gonna ask about that. So when you're in dating, because I feel like there's already a stigma
Yeah.
to dating a guy that's a comic, but I feel like
Yeah.
for a female, because a lot of guys are insecure about women being funnier than them.
Totally.
How much have you had to deal with that?
Yeah, it's hard to. It's yeah. I do a joke about how like it's not the same. Like women look at men on stage, and it makes sense. Like you're charismatic, you're handsome, whatever. They're like, sure,
Twinkie.
I'm into that, twinkish. But it's like not the same one to one. Where it's secure men. I've definitely had men come up after shows and like hit on me and be like, "Wow, you were really good." Like that's the best. But more often than not, it's them like trying to one up you. And like tag your own joke for you, and it's like, but you're not funny.
That's
I've
so
been doing this for
gross.
5 years, and I'm
Yeah.
good at it. And you aren't. You're just like fun, and you're like rec softball. You know what I mean? Like you're the funny guy
In
that
your
drinks
group
beer.
of friends.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you're not funny. So why are you trying to one up? Where I respect it more when people are just like, oh no, tell me about your stand up. You know what I mean?
'Cause they
Instead
actually
of
give a
like
shit.
right. Or like, how did you get into that? That kind of thing is way more interesting than like, I like this joke, but what if you did it this way? It's like, no, that's
Yeah.
not funny.
They're not, when people are talking to you like in that manner, they're just not talking to you. They're just talking about themselves at you.
It's like they see themselves, and then you get a lot like, oh, I've always thought about doing stand up, and it's like,
Oh.
but you haven't, and you'd
I
be bad at
can't
it.
stand
So,
that.
like, do people do that to you? Do women do that to you? Do women approach
I
you
mean,
about
I
your
just
stand-up?
women don't approach me. Women don't talk to me. I'm not kidding. Like I literally get zero attention from women. I'm waiting.
You're so cute.
I have a big nose. No, it's not the nose. I think I don't have an
I like big
attractive stage
noses.
presence.
Yeah.
I have like this weirdly
are kind of-
nervous,
Yeah, I
kind
get
of like
that.
anxious. Chris,
But I think a lot of people are into that. I
Not-
do.
it's not attractive though.
Mm,
I think it's good for like being a performer, but the problem also is that is kind of who I am. I'm like this weirdly
right, I think it
nervous,
works.
charismatic.
Which is why I think it would translate as like you know what I mean? If I was like 22, I would for sure hit on you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, women don't do that. I've been waiting for it because
Also, but
all the other guys have talked to me about how cool it is.
what I like about your personality and your stage presence, which is like they go hand in hand, is that you're approachable. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if I saw somebody that like a Matt Rife type, like whatever,
Uh-huh.
it's like that guy's gonna be mean to me.
Really?
You know what I mean? That's what I would assume.
Yeah.
That guy's gonna be an asshole to me. Whereas you, it's like you seem like a sweet guy, where I would like have a conversation with you and get a drink with you.
That's nice.
I wouldn't be afraid you're gonna
But
rape me. You
is
know?
it sweet kind of like that's I kind of want to be I want people to fear me,
no,
you know?
yeah, I get that, but like, and some
Aren't
girls
women
want
into that?
They are until
The girl I was talking to, she literally on the last date we had, she was like, "I'm into assholes."
They are like that until you grow up, and I was also like that for a long time until you grow up and realize that's actually not fun, and that's why nothing's working out for you.
Sure.
It's not good at all. And then you meet a guy that's actually nice to you, and you're like, oh, this is way better.
Yeah. Also, I feel like it's misleading because I am an asshole and I'm like very cynical.
You're not
If you
an
like
asshole.
actually
You're
pick my
cynical.
brain.
Doesn't mean you're an asshole.
I don't know, dude.
Like you're not gonna treat people poorly.
Are they black? I'm kidding. Shout out Sam.
Does he watch this podcast?
No, definitely not. I was gonna say something about frickin' women. Oh, I think it's pretty unattractive just being a person doing comedy, like just in general, as a guy and a girl. But like you're asking what girls' perception of it is.
Mm-hmm.
They don't normally try. First of all, every girl on Hinge thinks they're hilarious.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
thinks they're funny.
That's the problem.
Patton
Everyone
Oswalt
thinks they're
has a
funny,
quote
and
about
most
this.
people are not funny.
No,
Categorically.
most people are not funny.
In the grand scheme of comedians, we're not even funny. Do you know what I mean?
I think about this every day.
Like-
I literally think about this. I was in the car just like, I'm not good at comedy, but I'm supposed to tell myself that I'm good at comedy
Yeah.
so I don't.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, but like
100%.
in the grand scheme of because we know this is such a long shot, like 10 years is sort of like this benchmark of like
Right.
you should be good by 10 years.
Right.
And it's not even like great by 10 years. It's like you should know what you're doing by that
Right.
point. And so in hindsight, even if you have like a great set or whatever, you can sort of be like, all right, I did well. But if you analyze that and then even listen back to it like a year later, you'll be like, okay, I was not good,
Right.
which is wild.
Which is good.
It is good.
You don't want. You never want to look back at your old stuff and go,
I
I
had
was
it.
so much better then. Yeah. No. You always want to, yeah.
Back when I had
if
the
you're not
fire.
cringing a little bit, I feel like you're probably not working that hard to get better.
Yeah, you're not developing.
Right.
You're not changing. But it is weird just
Yeah.
having the awareness.
It is crazy. You ever meet somebody and you ask them about their first set and they go, "Oh my god, I
I
crushed it."
crushed.
I was so funny. I'm like, I very seriously doubt that.
Yeah.
And even if you
I
did crush
mean-
for the time, if you don't look back now and you're like, "Ugh," then you're not good probably.
Is there anything scarier than talking to somebody right after they just did poorly and then hearing them be like, "Yeah, I crushed"?
Oh my.
Is there
it
anything
is
more terrifying?
the most?
Because
I'm
you
like,
just
"You're a
realize they're
psychopath."
insane.
Right.
And how many people do that?
So
a
many
lot.
people. So many people. So many people.
It's terrifying.
It boggles my mind.
Because you're just like, so we're in a thing where you should have the most awareness.
Self-awareness. That's key
And you
to
have
being good at this.
None.
You have zero.
That is so insane.
It is crazy, especially people that like if you're new and you don't quite have that caliber, like understandable. But if you've been doing this for a while and you get off stage and have a bad set, you go, "How'd you do?" And you're like, crushed. That's terrifying.
That now we're entering depression territory.
This is delusion. We are
Yeah,
fully
delusion. That's the word.
delulu-
And then it's like,
Delusiana.
do you know that it's bad, but you're telling yourself it's not
I
to
think
try
it's
to
a little
help
bit of that.
yourself?
I think a lot of people, it's a little bit of that.
I mean, they say it with such conviction.
I know.
And now because of that, I'm so nervous of ever giving myself any compliment.
I know.
I'm so nervous of ever, even if somebody else. Also, you and I both know,
yeah.
saying good set means nothing.
Nothing.
Giving
That's
a
just
fucking
that's just
empty
like
fist
saying
bump.
like hi.
It is.
It's just a nice way to say hi.
You didn't die up
You say
there.
good set, yeah.
Good
Sometimes
set.
I'll just do this to people as they're coming off stage just to be like, "Hey, I'm acknowledging that I see you and you just went up." And they'll be like, "Don't even do that."
I know.
And I'm like, I do appreciate you have the self-awareness to know that you didn't have a good set, but I wasn't telling you had a good
Totally.
set. I was just saying, "Hey."
It's so weird how like we just there's like this norm in stand up that if you see somebody that you're not I mean, it is people that you're friends with, but also like people that you're like not quite friends with. There's just like this automatic fist bump thing,
Right.
and like people will go. You know, people like this at the end of a mic, they'll just go fist bump every single person,
Right.
and it's like people who aren't athletic, so they've never fist bumped in an environment where you actually would fist bump. So
Yeah.
they're like fist bumping like this, and it's like you're not even.
Oh, that is so
I can
weird.
tell you're
No,
not a
that's-
fist
that
bump
is
guy. Yeah,
so
when
weird.
they're like that. It's
Yeah,
like no,
it's
you
so
should be
weird.
like
Yeah,
pounding
yeah.
it like that.
And it should be very casual. Sometimes
Yeah,
it's aside
it shouldn't
school,
be-
like
Good set.
yeah, that's weird.
I know. It rubs me the wrong way so much.
Yeah.
And it's just like it just means nothing at this
Also,
point.
it's like we don't have to do this whole goodbye thing.
Thank
Irish it
you.
out. Get the fuck out of here. I'll see you on Tuesday. We don't need to do it. Ooh, hey girl.
I completely fucking agree with that.
Yeah. Unless
This-
it's like a close friend of mine, or I'm talking to people and then I'm like, okay, and then I'll be like, hey, all right, bye. But if I'm just like watching stand up and I'm in the back, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm not saying goodbye to you fucks. I'll see you in 2 days.
Completely. I'll see you tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. I hate goodbyes
I
so
don't need
much.
to do it. I love an Irish goodbye. I love
an
I
Irish
love
goodbye.
it. But then you get those people that are like, you didn't say goodbye to me?
Well, those people
I'm like,
suck.
No, I don't like you.
Those are the same people that are like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just a hugger."
Yeah, that's me. I'm a hugger.
Ugh.
I'm a mega hugger. But I ask for
I
consent.
hate hugs.
I get consent. I hug you a lot of the time. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Well, I like you, so I don't mind it. It's
I usually ask if I don't know
Yeah.
somebody and we're not used to hugging, I'll go, "Oh, are you a hugger? I'm a hugger." But we don't have to. Sometimes they say no, and I'm like, "All right, cool."
the problem is when people are huggers to everybody. And
Yeah.
I've told people that I don't like hugs, and they'll still hug me.
Yeah.
It's not about the hug. It's about whether I like the person or not.
Yeah, that's
That's
fair.
all it really is.
Yeah, that's fair.
But God, people. There's like this social contract for whatever reason with hugging that you have to accept a hug,
You don't.
or you're an asshole.
You don't.
You look like such a dick if you don't.
Yeah.
And imagine if you're getting hit on by a guy
yeah.
and he's trying
well,
to
that's
hug
why
you.
as the hugger, it is on you to make sure the other person is into the hug.
It is.
That's
But
why I literally open up. I'll go, "Are you a hugger? I'm a hugger." And some people
that's a
go,
lot of pressure to put on someone, Kaylee.
No. Because many a time people have gone, "I'm not really a hugger," and I go, "Oh, okay, cool," and I'll just like fist bump them or whatever.
That's fair.
And
long as
and
you're
you
pulling
should.
out.
And if I'm asking you if you're a hugger, you
Yeah,
are,
you have to say no.
You have
if you're not,
then the responsibility is on you to say no. I'm not.
because you're giving them
okay,
the
cool.
out.
That's fine. I'm not gonna be weird about it.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
it's weird. Why are you a hugger?
I'm just a warm, sweet lady.
Warm,
don't
sweet
know.
lady.
You know those like stupid like love language things?
Yeah,
I'm like off the charts a touchy person.
that's kind of nice.
Yeah,
I want somebody like that.
where I
'Cause it
feel
makes you
like
feel loved.
I feel loved,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm giving love by like hugging people.
I'm not good at getting. It takes me a while to get comfortable with people, there was one girl that I dated for a little bit, and we had sex that day, and then I was she was dropping me off at the airport, or I was dropping her off or something, and I had my hand like on her thigh, but it was kind of like tentative on her thigh.
I could see you in the
And when I'm
You're
when I'm
handshake.
comfortable with somebody, I'm really comfortable.
Sure.
But I just wasn't at that
You gotta
stage
get to
yet.
that level.
And we never really, I feel like psychologically got comfortable with each other, which is why it was like that. But I remember I had my hand on her thigh, and it was like that picture of like the chicken, like with the claw on the
Yeah,
thigh.
dude.
And she looked at me and she was like, "We had sex today." Isn't that
is
sad?
so funny. It is funny that like sex is not even close to the most intimate thing you can do with somebody.
No, it's not.
No.
It's really not. What do you think
But
is the most intimate thing you can do with somebody?
I
I think it's like taking a bath together and just not being sexual about it.
Yeah, that's romantic. Most intimate thing you can do with somebody. I don't know. That's a really good question. Sharing a hot dog? I don't know.
Sharing a hot dog like Lady and the Tramp style.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
I
trying
mean,
to
I
think
do
of some
that in
things that would make me
public.
feel very vulnerable with somebody. Talking about your feelings? That's
yeah,
really intimate.
probably.
That's really intimate.
That's true.
Being vulnerable? Oh,
Being honest
yeah. Ugh.
about.
The worst.
Oh my God, yeah. I've thought about that like in the modern dating or whatever. You can't be honest.
It's so rotted. I feel like we're gonna whiplash back here in the next 5 to 10 years, where it's just gonna be like over vulnerability because we've been so unvulnerable for like the last 15 years.
Well, it's this weird thing where like everybody is preaching the over vulnerability, but to such an extent that we've almost gone. It's like the snake eating its own tail,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you should expect me to have all these feelings and stuff, but don't address them.
Right.
It's very weird.
It's so weird. It's so weird the way
And then on social
dating
media,
works.
it's all
so
like
gross.
you're putting yourself completely out there, but then
Yeah.
in person, you have to like put up this shield before you actually get to that.
Right. And it's like you were talking about with this. I don't know if you.
No,
can
go
talk about
ahead. She's not gonna
um,
watch.
it. Okay.
She
Where
cut
she
me
was
out.
like, I'm not into having a relationship. I think people that say that are just like looking for an excuse out. Because men have done that to me before. Where they're like, I'm just not like trying to get serious. I'm like, neither was I, motherfucker. I'm not trying to marry your nasty ass.
Yeah,
I just wanted to get dick down a little
but
bit.
then I also can't get mad at her because it's like you're just.
Yeah.
She needs some excuse.
But it's like, just say I'm not into it. You can be honest, right?
Yeah, we had a conversation literally on our last date about how she like just lies to people because she doesn't want to hurt their feelings.
I've done that too. I know. I'm one of those people that I'm saying this, but I've also done that before.
Because it's hard. Breaking up with people or just
hard.
ending things sucks. I broke up with.
Yeah, it's a maturity thing too. I feel like I'm at the age where I would be on, but for years for sure I did not. I was lying to
yeah.
people.
Also, I have been honest after a date, and I told the girl one time, she was like the most boring girl I've ever met in my entire life, and I interviewed her.
That's the problem too, dating non-comics.
They're so boring.
So boring.
That's
and
why
they
this
think they're
girl was
interesting and
so
funny.
awesome. Is because she
Yeah.
was so fucking fun to talk.
Yeah.
It was so effortless.
Yeah.
Having conversation, and that's the number one thing with conversation.
Totally.
There should be no effort. But yeah, most people are so fucking boring.
So boring. And they don't even know they're dull. They
Well,
don't
yeah.
even know.
That's the thing about being crazy. You don't know you're crazy. It's a Jim Jeffries line.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a horrible Australian accent.
No,
that
it's
Australian?
not. I can actually do
Do it
like
again.
a fairly good Australian
that was
accent.
good. I like
Yeah,
it
like
fairly.
I can snap into it pretty easily.
Are you doing it now?
Yeah, it's just like subtle. It's there.
On certain words, I hear it.
No, it's there. It's I can like turn up the twang
There
if
we
you'd
go.
like.
I
but
want
yeah.
Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, I take
yeah.
it back. I take it back.
I think accents are more impressive if you're just like sort of there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a little bit. Anyway.
Do you ever do that? Do you ever approach people you don't know and just talk in accents?
I have, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so I actually had an idea where I was gonna have like a spinning wheel, and it was gonna have a bunch of different accents because I can do a bunch, and then it was gonna have like you spin another wheel and it's like a pickup line, and
Yeah.
like we were gonna have crazy. It was gonna be
That's
like me and
dope.
Max Sorich going up to random girls,
Yeah.
hitting on them, and like it was gonna be like we spin it and it says like Japanese, and then it would be like,
Okay,
did you
Max-
fall from heaven?
Max and his Asian accents. he
Did
needs
you
to stop.
fall from heaven? Yeah, yeah, we do.
Max
the fun stuff.
famously.
Oh, I've heard.
I wasn't there. You weren't there either.
Wait, what?
At the Gazelles.
Oh no, he
Max
told me about
famously
it.
did an Asian accent and offended a bunch of
He
Asian
said
people
it.
in the
Well, yeah,
audience.
he said it did not go over well.
No, and I know exactly how that interaction went. Like I can visualize him starting it and being like, "This is gonna kill,"
Oh
and
yeah.
then it doesn't kill, but you're stuck in the bit and you can't escape it, so you have to just push further in.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I was there. Oh my god.
Max told me a story recently about him bombing at a Don't Tell show, and Max is a great comic. We
Yeah,
both know
very funny
that.
guy.
So there were three.
Unless he's doing an Asian accent, apparently.
Yeah, of course. There were three women in the front that wouldn't stop talking, and they were ruining like the entire show for everybody, and they were kind of like throwing him off a bit. His jokes were sort of working, not really getting anything, and then he said at one point he was like, "Stop talking." He was like, "Daddy's talking now," and he said nobody laughed.
Yeah, I would laugh.
He said it.
That's so
I know,
funny.
to us that's so funny.
I love Max's swagger because he's clearly joking. He's like a sweet boy. But when he
Daddy's
gets like
talking,
cunty
yeah.
about it, he's like, he like inclines his head.
When
I
he said
could-
to Brandon at the Rose, he's like, "Nice headband, Brandon." That's super
like,
cool.
He's such a bitch. I love him.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Max is a sweetheart though.
Yeah, he's a sweet boy. He's a sweet boy, but he gets in this mode where he just goes cunty, and it's so funny.
It's kind of scary that it's
Yeah.
still in there.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some people
It
where
could be a little bit American Psycho-y. He goes dead in the eyes sometimes.
oh yeah,
you
he's got
know.
those deep set eyes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
He had this one photo that my roommate Mel and I would always make fun of because
That's
he
funny.
like joined Instagram or something and like his profile photo, he looked insane. Like it was like a close up and when his eyes were so sunken and he looked like he was gonna murder you. We were like, Max, you have to change this.
That's
This
so
looks
funny.
Terrifying.
Did he have the old hair where it was like the swoosh?
I can't remember. Maybe it might have been. This was like a couple years ago. We're like, dude, you have to change it. You look so scary.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a real twunk.
twunk,
Really looks like a man.
Tina. Yeah.
When you're watching me on stage, do you think that's a man or that's a boy?
Just like that's Harry.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Yeah, I remember the first
I don't know,
time.
boys
that
are boys to me until they're like 30.
I feel like a kid. So
Yeah, I do too.
that's
I feel like I'm
good.
25. I'm 28.
That's good. I feel like I'm like 12.
Yeah.
Seriously. What was I gonna say? Fuck. What were we just saying?
We're talking about Max for a while.
Max, men, boys.
Boys. We're talking about relationships.
Fuck. Oh, it was a really good thread that I was
Really?
just gonna start. Yeah.
And you just lost it.
Uh huh. I'm not even high right
Like
now.
a amateur.
I know, dude. I'm supposed to be
Get it
so good at
together.
podcasting.
Right.
10th episode. Pretty cool.
10th episode.
You know what?
Is it time? It's time?
Let's start.
Oh my god.
If you want.
How long are we into this podcast? Am I taking mine
We're
off too?
51 minutes. I mean, that's totally up to you.
Should I
how
take mine
much
off?
do
They
you
don't
wanna
want to see me though.
Boost. I think they do.
You want to see my? I'm not taking my socks off.
I'm not taking my socks
But I'll
off.
go socks.
It's kind of interesting because there's like a war between the socks and the feet guys.
You guys like my Adidas?
All Adidas?
Yeah.
I
From
don't know.
Aldi?
Oh!
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Kind of dope. They're dirty.
Why is Aldi such a thing now? I hear so many people joking and talking about
Somebody
it.
was making a joke about Aldi's at an open mic, and I was like, "Listen, you broke bitch."
Nick Cartwright?
I think it was Nick Cartwright.
It's a good bit.
It is funny. I was laughing, but I was literally wearing those shoes, and I was like, "I'll fuck you up, bitch.
Yeah.
Do not." That's why I have more money than you, because I save it by shopping at Aldi's. don't
But you still
disrespect.
have the poor lifestyle.
Yeah.
But so then, what's the point?
I can go on vacation, and you can't.
Oh, okay. All right. But like how, like overseas?
I did.
Where?
I went to Ireland and Italy.
Did you go to the Cliffs of Moher?
No, we were only there for like 2.5 days, Anthony Hernandez and I.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it was dope. But we were going to go, and the day we were going to go, it was going to be cloudy anyway, so we're like,
Yeah.
there's no point in spending the whole day doing that.
I lost my virginity in Ireland.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
You serious?
Mm-hmm.
Are you Irish?
No.
Wait. Well, okay, set this up for me. How old are you?
I was 11 years old.
Shut
No,
up.
I'm kidding. Me and my so my first girlfriend, her parents were fully English, and they were also very
Mm.
wealthy, and we somehow convinced them to let us go to Ireland by ourselves for like a week.
But how old were you?
18.
Okay, 18. So you're an adult.
18. Yeah, I mean,
Not
I
really.
had the
But technically.
yeah, but yeah, I lost it. We
That's another thing about. Sorry, actually, never mind. Keep going.
what's up, guys?
Hey.
So back to the
Yeah. That's.
the other thing.
Oh, should I go on a tangent?
Yeah, go.
So the tangent was just that, like you said, 18, you're an adult, but not really.
Mm.
That's another thing when men, or women too, not just saying as men, but people that are like, yeah, she was 18. I waited. It's like, that's so nasty.
How chivalrous.
I don't care if it's, illegal. That's nasty. You're
Yeah, 'cause
nasty,
it's like
rotted boo boo.
Like 1 millisecond is the difference between you're a good
Exactly.
guy and
Like,
you're a pedophile.
It's a technicality. It's
It
like,
really is.
Yeah.
It's very arbitrary.
Yeah.
That Shane Gillis bit about like the founding fathers having to like decide the age of consent
Yeah.
from Rhode Island. 12. And they're like, ew, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, why'd I have to go first? That's so good. Yeah, it is weird that they just landed on on that age.
Yeah. I feel like it should be a sliding scale. Like, if you're 40 and you're, like, staring at 18-year-olds, that's weird. If you're 22 and it's, like, 18, that's fine. It's, like, not that bad.
I've had this conversation with many people. The comics are the only
I think
people
once
that you
you're
can
maybe,
have
like,
this conversation
21,
with.
then, like, the sky's the limit. Live your dreams. But
21,
let's be
sky's
honest.
the
If you're,
limit.
like, a 40-year-old man, you're preying on 19-year-old women, weird. It's weird.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
You're a weirdo, and I'll say it, and I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed.
I can't wait till I get successful enough to where I divorce my evenly aged wife and then start dating a 18-year-old when I'm like 60, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I know
That'd be great.
I'll have made
You
it.
made it, yeah.
When my daughter's the same age.
Yeah.
I hope you guys get along.
You fully date and cook it out, yeah.
Wait, did he do that?
His wife is very young. I don't know
Oh.
if it's that young. It might not be that weird. She's
Uh,
quite young.
I see a lot of comics who have like those bimbo wives.
Yeah.
And then this is insulting to women, but like you can sort of look at a woman and be like, there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many of those on Hinge, by the way.
Believe it.
I'm sure it's the same with guys, but I
Believe
mean
it,
there
yeah.
are so many. That was the other reason this
Yeah.
girl was kind of devastating, is because there are just like hundreds and hundreds of like, you're objectively hot, but I just know your prompts suck. You have no
I
personality.
will not want to talk to you. Yeah, 100%.
I won't even have anything in common with you.
Yeah.
You're
I've
typical
dated guys
Sunday.
before too that were like cool enough because like we would just like go out and like drink or like whatever. And then but it's like I realized that like when we weren't drinking I was like, "Oh my god, I don't like you. I don't like you." It was the alcohol that made me think that you were cool.
Alcohol's good for that.
It is good for that,
It's
but
very
it's like
good for that.
you got to be real honest with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was with a girl that I would dread walking to her car just because I was like, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah. Yeah.
And only after I
But
got
that's
out of
how
that.
rotted dating is. It's like, well, this person's going to put up with, you know what I mean? Then you're like, I
Mm.
guess I should. But no. There's somebody out there that's going to make you feel spectacular.
No, I'm going to be loveless forever.
That's not true.
It's not.
not true
It's not going to
here.
happen.
That's not my
There's
hair.
no woman that will ever fulfill all my needs.
Really? Do you have a lot of needs?
I was just
Are
gonna
you
say, what
needy?
the fuck are my needs? I don't know. It just has to be effortless.
Yeah.
It's really all that matters. And they have to not judge the fact that my life is gonna suck for like a long time because of comedy.
I feel like what is sucking though?
Just being really poor. Isn't that really bad for dating
Says who?
women?
Here's the thing about it though. It's like, yeah, sure. Would you rather have money than be poor? For sure. People with money don't look like they're having any more fun than I am.
It's not a fun thing. They're not.
They're
We
miserable.
are having way more
We're having
fun
way more fun, and I'm not having any fun.
than everybody our age.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, well, I feel like our lows are lower
Yes.
because they don't have to bomb.
Yes.
and
But I
then,
don't
like,
think that's a money
think
thing.
about their career.
I
No,
think
it's
that's
not
a
at
mental
all.
illness thing and doing this career.
Absolutely. So I think that we have way higher highs, way higher lows,
Yeah.
but that's the whole like magic of it, is that we have the volatility,
Right.
which makes it exciting,
Right.
and people more like they idle at like just average, which
Yep.
is I
Yep.
think more comfortable and more sustainable.
Right.
But yeah, we definitely have way more fun
We have more fun.
than people our age.
People that have all this money, it's like, I mean, some of them have figured it out, like, you know,
Don't I have to provide though? Don't I have to be a breadwinner
girl.
guy?
And like, no. Who says that?
I thought that was a thing. The 666 Club.
I mean, here's the thing. Do I want to date somebody I have to provide for? No, I do not. But we should be equal partners here where it's like, you know, I feel like that's how, if you're,
Yeah.
if, I don't know, if you're a type of woman, maybe I just don't identify as that type of woman, and I don't really respect women who do, that are like, I'm going to be the lady and you're going to make all the money. I don't think that exists very much anymore.
Oh, it does.
Really?
It definitely
Yeah,
does.
maybe I just don't hang out with these women.
Yeah, I mean, you're a comic.
Yeah.
You're, with all due respect,
I've
you are a
pretty
very
much-
rare breed of woman.
Yeah, that's fair.
The fact that you can even like when we had that conversation at Easy In, just like openly talking about vaginas.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the difference between comics
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
normal people.
True.
Is that me and Kaylee just talked about like the intricacies
True.
of pussy
And
for like
squirting.
2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
You can't do that with normal. So with guys, I feel like
Yeah, but
more
we also have a
often-
level of comfortability.
Totally,
that you
totally,
wouldn't
we
with some
do.
random woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but also you compared to the random woman are way more willing to talk about
Right.
things objectively and not be like,
Right.
why would you even think about that?
Right, without judgment.
Yeah.
Right.
And we can think about like pedophilia on like a sliding scale. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas my mom would be like, "Oh, stop! That's so gross.
Yeah.
Why would you even bring that up?"
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm just trying to analyze it,
Yeah.
mom.
But it's like women to that sort of point. It's like women that are gonna be like, you need to be the provider, aren't gonna be women that you would like anyways.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
You know.
That's a very good point.
I think it's an outdated. I don't know, like thought process. It's like I don't know if you're out there and if, yeah, then I guess women like that are gonna be attracted to people who want to be the breadwinner and like want that dominance. So that's cool for them.
I'd like to be the breadwinner. No, I don't give a shit. I honestly would love.
I mean, what do we mean by breadwinner? Do we mean just like being able to provide? Like that
Yeah.
would be nice, sure.
Providing
but like
is nice.
to be like, I'm the one that brings home the money.
That's pathetic.
Weird.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
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 Also, like, what are you really gonna do with money? Travel.
What are you gonna? Yeah, a lot of stuff actually. A lot of stuff.
I mean, yeah, money's
People do think money
fucking
will change all their
awesome.
problems though, and it will not. You'll just get different problems.
Just like most of them, but yeah. No,
I mean,
yeah,
for
they
sure.
will
There's
become
like the
different.
hierarchy of needs where like you want enough money to be comfortable, but they've done studies about happiness, and there's like this is not very the cap for like money like increased money to increased happiness is not very high. It's like 80 grand. Maybe it's a little higher now. That was a
Totally.
little while ago. Maybe it's like 100 grand now. But so you're
And
doing great if
also-
you're making that much, but you're not rolling in it
Totally.
in this economy.
In this
In
economy.
Chicago, it's like you're doing well, but if you make 100 grand, it's like you're fine, but you're not on Shark Tank.
True. And then even if you are on Shark Tank, you don't know what it's like to kill at an open mic. Truly though, because stand-up like bombing is like one of the worst feelings. I mean, it's really not that. I mean,
But like, get over it.
that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like,
That's another thing I hate about some comics. You know, comics that bomb and they just can't deal.
yeah, they're just sad
Girl,
sacks of shit.
This is part of your job.
I deal with
you
it
better figure it
later
out.
by myself.
Right.
I'm not gonna bring down other people.
It's also like, too, it's like, yeah, I bombed in a room full of 10 people that have heard these jokes 6 times already, and it was 12 o'clock on a Thursday. I'm not going to be too hard on myself.
I'm hard on myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
I
you
have
just
some
gotta
dark car rides.
buckle up. Tighten
Well-
that jock strap, baby.
Oh, it's so tight. It's already because of my veins.
Yeah. You gotta give yourself a little grace. That's part of your
I don't
job.
like
If you're not bombing,
grace.
you're not trying anything.
Oh, well, I'm trying a lot.
Yeah, there
So-
you go.
But also then I'll have like, dude, I had a set at Logan. I feel like the last like 20 sets I've had 2 good sets.
Mm.
And they've all been open mics. And I feel at Logan I had this set and it just went like fine. And came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, that was like that was like as if I'd never had an okay set in my life before." And I was like, "You son of a bitch."
You know, that is so frustrating. I don't know if you get this a lot, but people will come up to me, like people that I know in my heart and soul, I'm funnier than,
I know exactly where you're going with this.
and they'll act like I've come such a long way
Yeah.
that I am just keep going, kiddo.
Yeah.
You're doing some cool, and it's like, if you don't back the fuck up for me, you nasty little troll. Like they just, it's funny too, 'cause there's the dichotomy. Like there were people that are like way better than me that like think highly of me, and that feels amazing. And then there are people that are like below me that think low of
It's
me.
all about how you perceive them.
Right, and it's just the juxtaposition is wild.
Totally.
Because I'm like pretty, I'm not all that at all. But there are people that are respected in this scene that respect me a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are people that are not respected in the scene that think I'm shit,
Yeah.
and it's just funny, the duality of that.
There's so many levels to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of times I've heard people tell me like, "You used to be so bad,"
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Do you not understand what that? You're being so rude.
that's not a compliment.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice to know that you think I'm not as bad anymore,
Yeah.
but like, I mean,
Yeah.
for at least the last like 7 months, all of the compliments, not all of them, but like most of the compliments I've gotten have just been like, "You've come so far.
Yeah.
From
Which
what
is
you
like,
used to
thank
be."
you, but like,
you
why
used to
would you say
suck.
it like that? Right. I remember this was like maybe a year ago. Marta DeRosa, who's an amazing comedian in Chicago. I don't think he does comedy much anymore, but he's amazing. Like a legend here. And he was being so kind to me, and he meant it in the nicest way possible, but my brain went negative because that's what it does.
That's what it does.
And he was like, he saw me on stage, and he's like, wow, you've really gotten a lot better. Like, you're really getting it. And in my mind, I was like, well, that was like he thinks I'm funny. Like he was giving me a compliment,
Yeah.
but my mind immediately went to he thought I sucked
Because you're just comparing.
for so long. And then I talked to other comics about it. And they're like, "That's not what he was saying." I was like, "I know that's not what he was saying. That's how I took it." You
Totally.
know?
Yeah. I was gonna say like half the trolls telling you that are trying to be nice.
Right. Right.
So
And he's
it's
not a
tough.
troll, so he's like, I take his
know.
opinion. I respect it very highly. But I was just like, oh, he hated me. He used to hate me.
Or you ever have like a set that you didn't think was that bad, or you think like I got some
Can I
data
get this
from that.
thing off of your leg?
Sure. And then you'll be like, and then somebody will be like, it wasn't that bad. And you'll be like, oh, I
Yeah.
didn't think it.
Right,
Oh
alright,
fuck.
right,
And then you're like, am I one of the delusional people?
Right. There's this bit I've been doing about my father dying because he is,
Respect.
and it and it's been going really well. Like 80% of the time, it kills. And I did it at Easy Bar, the mic I hosted this last Wednesday, and it did okay. It was just like the crowd just wasn't vibing with it for whatever, who cares? And then another comic was like, came up to me afterwards, and he was like, "Hey, like it's gonna get there. Keep working on the bit." And he was being nice, and so I was like, "Yeah, thanks, whatever." But I was like, "No, it's already there. Like it just wasn't. I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this crowd just wasn't feeling it,
Yeah,
and
but
that's
he
okay.
can't see that because of
Because
the
this is the
crowd.
first time he's seen it,
Sure.
and it's the crowd didn't love it. Yeah.
I've said that to a lot of people. Maybe I should stop saying that. Where I'll see something I really like and it didn't work, and I'll be like, keep doing that.
Yeah. I feel like a safer bet's just to be like, "Hey, I thought that was really funny."
Yeah,
I like that
I
bit
was
a
just
lot.
gonna say, like, what's the safest way to just tell somebody? I mean, I think the nicest
Yeah.
thing you can say is, "I wish I wrote that."
Oh, totally.
That's like the highest
Very
form of
high
a
compliment.
compliment.
100%. You know what the meanest thing you can say to somebody?
What?
Keep writing.
Whoa, I've been told.
Very mean.
Yeah,
Very. Because it's basically like, your writing sucks.
yeah.
You
that
better
is-
keep working.
That is. I get told the opposite of that, which stings in a weird way. I've had a lot of people that just come up to me and they're like, "You're a writer,"
Yeah.
and I'm like,
I love that.
"Not a
I
performer."
love that compliment.
Not a stand-up guy. I love the
I
compliment.
think
but also,
performance
like,
is easier. Well, I think we've had this
we've-
conversation before.
after
yeah.
Easy Bar
yeah,
when
yeah,
I
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
sucked at the
Yeah.
hosting.
Yeah.
I remember. That was a good conversation.
But performing is just that. It's a performance. So like in my mind, it's easier to. It's easier. But I also did theater and stuff. So maybe that's why my brain thinks it's easier to like put on a show
Sure.
than like the writing part is the intellectual part. In my mind, that's the hard part. I can sell anything, but if the core of it is bad, then what are you selling? You're selling garbage, you know?
Yeah. I agree with the sentiment of what you're saying, but I definitely think
Yeah.
that the writing is the easier part
Yeah.
because the performance is
I
like
respect writers more than I do perform. If you are a good writer and your performance is kind of not as hot, I respect that more than if you're like a great performer and have like you're not saying anything.
well, me and Sam have talked about that a lot because it's funny to us when you watch somebody who's floundering on stage, who's more of a writer, they
Mhm.
can sort of just fall back onto their writing.
Right.
And
Right.
literally, they can just fall back onto that and just have no like flair or whatever. And if their jokes are good
Right.
enough, they can still get something.
Right.
But whereas like when you see somebody who's mostly a performer and they're not doing well, it's like, what are you gonna do? Just perform more? Like,
Right.
you're just gonna like
You're just gonna
get
annoy
more-
people.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like you look at somebody like Zach Albers.
uh-huh.
Look at me, and he is so slow. He's one of the slowest
S-
performers I've ever. It takes him
so
30
impressive
seconds to
to-
say like a word,
Word economy is
but he's such a good writer, and he's so funny that he can have 2 minutes of near silence, him building up this joke, and then you get the punchline,
Absolutely.
and the room is losing it.
but also that's a huge performance.
yeah,
in a
but
way,
he's figured it out.
Correct. Totally.
Yeah.
He does it in a way that you don't think it's a performance.
Correct.
But we
Mhm.
all are like, I
Mhm.
mean, dude, you're stretching everything out
Right.
so much.
Right. That
It's
is his
so
natural
deliberate.
personality, but
Yeah.
he's clearly like honed it to a
100
perfect
100%.
level. Yeah.
And it's very engaging too.
Mhm.
I'm so jealous of that
I know.
because I just
He's really
have to
fucking
just
good.
run my mouth
I know. Me
on
too.
stage. I've even
I know.
started with my writing. I can't even like I can't even write something. I know the gist of what I want to do. I know what my punchline is, but before that, I really can't write out specifically what I want to say because when I get on stage, I just want to like be free.
Mhm.
And if I feel like
Oh.
if I'm
But
like confined by my
You
writing,
consider yourself a writer, though.
I know, but so I write a shit ton.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, but
But it's not like you don't write like a tight.
I don't want to. I used to do a teleprompter where I was like, I'm gonna say these words in this order, and
That's how I do
now
it.
what I do is I'll say, this is the gist of what I want to say. Like I have a urologist named Dr. Fingerman. he fingers my testicles,
That's funny.
and then I'm gonna talk. And then I just literally just like
Was that real, by the way?
that is 100% real. I can wait. I want to show you a picture of him, cause somebody came up to me and they were like, "There's no way you had a urologist named Dr. Fingerman," and I was like, "No, I do. All right, this is not worth it." But yeah, he's a real guy, and he fingered me.
That is so wild.
I
What did it
know.
feel like?
Oh, he was just my testicles,
Yeah.
but I mean, it felt very intrusive.
Was it warm?
No, but the lady I went to before that, the Indian lady who did the ultrasound, that was unbelievably amazing feeling.
Wow.
She just put like this warm gel on my nuts, and there was a monitor.
You
and I could
liked
see
it.
it was. I did.
Maybe that's your new kink.
I mean, sign me up. A timid
You should
Indian
date.
lady
Yeah, you should.
rubbing warm ultrasound gel on me. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has that kink.
I doubt there's.
Yeah.
Porn is so weird.
But the thing is like, right now we're talking about that, right?
Yeah.
And we're being organic, and I feel like a crowd responds to a more conversational type of delivery, where they can't really tell that you've like a Seinfeld thing. Like
That's the trick.
You
The-
watch Seinfeld.
The
and
key
you're
is
like,
to make them think it's brand new.
that exactly.
you're
Like
just
you're
coming
saying
up-
it for the first time.
Right.
So I'll just say it for the first time a
Right.
lot of the time.
Mm.
And then the hard part is replicating that.
Right.
Because then I'll listen to the recording, I'll write down what I said, and then it's like, well, I got to this point by not saying exactly what I wrote down.
Right.
So now am I supposed to copy that?
Right.
And it's very hard to keep building on that.
Got it.
Yeah. That's sort of how I've changed my
That
writing
tracks.
style. But yeah,
Hmm.
definitely
I'm
more
one of
of
those
a
people
writer.
that when I write, it's like I'll play a little bit and like when I'm in the zone, I can really like ad lib and throw stuff in. But I want to know exactly where my punchlines are,
Mm.
so that if my ad lib's not going well, I have another punchline ready to go,
Totally.
and
yeah.
that makes me feel confident in my writing. You know what I mean? At least trying it for the first time.
just
or
never
first
being
couple
too
times.
far away from a laugh.
Right.
It's
Right.
so crushing when you try to do that, because you'll be writing and you'll think like, I'll get a laugh here and here and here, and then you don't get them here and here, and you're like, oh fuck. Well, then
Right.
if I didn't get them here and here, I'm not
oh,
gonna get it here.
totally. That's why it's like the most nerve-wracking part of the set is like getting to the first laugh,
Yeah.
because especially audiences that you're not sure of, it's like
100%.
once you like getting to that
Oh
first
my
big
God.
laugh is like such a anxious experience.
Totally. That's why I actually have started opening up with like Jesselnick jokes, like the type of jokes.
Yeah.
Because it's almost guaranteed you get a laugh,
Yeah.
because just the structure is there.
Right.
And if you can see like everybody shits on dad jokes, but a dad joke probably will get a laugh, and everybody understands that it's a joke.
Right.
And
right.
then off of that, you can sort of do whatever you want.
Right. And you're not offending anybody by doing a dad joke.
No, unless it's like a very racist dad joke,
Yeah. Maybe maybe don't open up with those.
which is a whole nother subset of dad jokes.
true.
But yeah,
Yeah.
and then you'll watch some people and they'll just be talking, and you'll be like, there's no like structure here at all. I don't really understand where you think you're gonna get the laughs. And that's my biggest fear is
Yeah.
having people watch me and think like, what does he think is funny about this? Like, why
Right.
is this funny?
Right.
What about this is
Right.
funny? But that being said, there are people where you watch and everybody will laugh at something. You're like, I don't really know why I laughed at that,
Yes.
but they know something that made
Yes.
us laugh.
Yes. That is yeah. It's funny you mention that because that is interesting. That also like interests me when I think there are some comics I do love writers, but there are some comics where it's like I couldn't tell you a single joke that they said, but I was laughing my ass off.
That's scary.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck witchcraft they're doing, but that is impressive. That is another impressive skill.
So I completely agree. That is incredibly impressive. But I think people have to remember your stuff if you want to be good.
Yeah.
Because
It's like it's almost like a difference in philosophy. Yeah.
anybody can kill in a hot room,
Right.
really.
Right.
It's about, do they remember you?
Yeah.
Do they remember your bit? And
That's
to me,
true.
like the best jokes are the ones that you can repeat to a group of friends. That's why like Norm's jokes,
That's
Jesselnick's
true.
jokes are
Yeah.
and Tosh.
Yeah. But it is a skill.
What
t-
is?
to be able to not be a strong writer necessarily,
Oh
or
my
maybe even to
God.
just goof off for like 10 minutes and to fucking nail. There
Oh
was,
my God, yeah. It's so
I-
impressive.
and Jackie's funny, so I'm not saying she's not funny and she's not a good writer, but I remember I was at CYSK, Comedians You Should Know, the show, and Jackie Cooper went on stage, and I swear to God, she was just doing crowd work for 10 minutes, not even like, where are you from? Like, not that kind of crowd work. She was just picking up, like saying nothing. And I was losing my mind. And she is a funny, so I'm not saying that she can't write or anything, or she does do jokes too. But in that moment, I was just like, wow, that is impressive.
'Cause it's like a magic
She
trick.
did 10 minutes. She got off stage. I don't think she did a single joke. She maybe did one joke at the very, very end. And she was just saying the same thing over and over in a different way. And I was losing my mind. The crowd was loving it.
That's so cool.
And it was like, even if that's not, it probably shouldn't be your whole thing doing
No.
that. But if you can have that skill in your back pocket, how fucking handy is that?
Absolutely.
You can whip that out.
Also, more than anything, that means she understands funny.
100%.
And also, like, understanding funny is one thing. Being able to use it and capitalize on
Right.
it is another thing.
And knowing when your moment is.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a very, it's like a
Yeah.
window. And
It
if
is.
you
It's
miss
like a toolbox. Like as a comic, you're just building up all your tools. And as the more tools you have, the more successful you're gonna be.
Yeah, and you can be prepared for like every scenario.
Right.
Yeah, totally. And it's like crowd work is this thing that's super hot right now because of all the clips and
Right.
stuff.
Right.
But great crowd work is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Even
It's
as a
because of
comic
that
when you
thing
watch
of,
it.
Like your jokes should sound natural, and the audience shouldn't be able to tell you've done these 100 times. But crowd work, you literally have never done this before, and that's why it
Yeah.
feels so authentic, and that's why you get such a big reaction from it.
100%. I was doing this. I started doing this thing where I go back and I just review. I do a review of every single one of my sets. I listen to it and I just type up like what I liked and what I didn't like, and then like I'll
Every
rewrite
single
my
set?
bits. I've started doing it.
Wow.
Because I was like I need to be more organized.
Right.
And I was doing the rabbit hole set,
Mm-hmm.
and I was listening to it, and the first joke I did was the Jesselnick style joke about the car.
The Hitler one? Oh.
No, about the guy cleaning the car. I shit on his car. Whatever. But then after that, I started going into my next bit, and then I jumped out of that to be like, oh, Kayley.
Yes.
And then I like talked about reading smut and
Yeah.
everything. And literally the moment I said, oh, Kayley, and I jumped out and started talking to you, the rest of my set was authentic.
Yes.
And before that, it was you could tell it was not authentic.
Right.
And I literally wrote like right after you started talking to Kayley, you could
Yeah.
tell that it was actually you, and it was way better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's why if a room's rough or a room's like small, it's crowd work is just such a if you're good at crowd work, if you know you can win the room, it's the best tool to be able to get them on your side because it's intimate.
Mhm.
It's I'm talking to you. I'm not talking about some vague general thing that I've said 100 times. It's like I am talking to you about your life, and now we are in this together. Now you're part of this.
yeah.
Now we're on
People
the same
love to be a
team
part of
here.
it.
They want to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
We're on the, it's not me and you. It's us.
But you have to do it in a way that's not like, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
What do
I mean, you can do that if it works.
Yeah.
It's all about if it works.
I think that's harder to do, right? Organically.
I mean, yeah, I don't love it. Like, what would you? It's more like I try to like play with like a topic that I was gonna talk about
Yeah.
anyways, and like what's going on here?
Then bring
Like,
it back.
What's this? What's this?
Do you watch Phil Hanley?
I love Phil Henley.
He is the king of crowd work.
I know he's very funny.
He is fucking amazing at it.
Somebody made fun of Phil Hanley, and I was like,
What?
my brother in Christ.
Who?
You are not the person to. I'm not saying
Who?
who. I was like, you are
I'll
not
bleep
the
it. I'll
person
bleep
to
it.
make fun
I
of
actually will
Phil
bleep it.
Hanley. Are you gonna bleep it?
Yeah, I promise.
Oh, my friend Tim. I don't know if you know him.
Why the fuck would I? I'm not gonna bleep it then.
Maybe he'll watch this someday. I don't want him to get mad
Is
at
your
me.
friend Tim into sock play?
Maybe. I don't think he's gay, but he might.
So
be
am I
into
actually bleeping your friend Tim?
Yes. You have to bleep it multiple times now. It's multiple bleeps.
Oh, fuck you, Tim.
3.
Yeah. I'm a very good editor.
Yeah, no, I love Phil. He's funny. Michael Myers just opened for him.
What?
Recently. I know. I was like, that's so cool.
Oh my god.
He's really funny.
That is fucking awesome. Damn. Hey, when do you think you're gonna release your special?
Yeah, probably like next month.
You've been cooking up that hour?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should in the next couple
just got
years.
Canadian.
I'm
I
not
don't
ready
know.
yet at all, but by the time I'm like in my early
You've been doing
30s.
it for 5 years?
Yeah. People also, y'all, stop putting out hours. None of you are
Stop
ready
putting
for
out
it.
hours.
Local Chicago comics, you know who you are. It's
That's
like, girl, what are
that's
you
my
doing?
vibe.
What are you doing? That is boo boo. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We both know.
Yeah, I
Find
just
people
said
that
one
are-
of their titles.
What did you say?
That's my vibe.
Who's that?
Brian Rowe.
B Dog.
Jokes on me.
B-Dog.
I've watched it 3 times.
It's so many people are just putting, and I'm like, people aren't coming to your shows anyways. You know what I mean? You're not getting booked.
Yes.
So what world do you think people are gonna watch your 45 little rotten minutes?
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't. If you're not like consistently headlining good
Yeah.
rooms, I don't really.
Agreed.
think that there's much value in putting out an hour.
Doesn't make. I mean, I think it's more just like self-validation.
Or like being sick of the material, but then also it's like clearly it could be better.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I don't know. I'm just a judgmental bitch. Like, do whatever you want, but it's like, what are we doing here? This is crazy.
It is
Are
crazy.
people that are like, I'm gonna do my 45 minutes. I'm renting out a room at the Lincoln Lodge and doing 45 minutes, and I'm like, should you though?
and they're like,
Just 'cause you can doesn't mean you should.
I totally agree.
It's like, let's work up our skill set here. 'Cause then there's, you know, great comedians who like actually take their time, and it's yeah. Don't fly too close to the sun. You're gonna
Careful,
burn out.
Icarus.
You're gonna burn out.
And then also with like Shane Gillis and Mark Norman and Sam Morril and Joe List, like all those New York guys, they put out like a first album that nobody really listened to, but like their first like real album that they put out, the reason it was so good is because they worked on it for 10 years.
Right.
Every single joke in there
Right.
had been run
100%.
hundreds, thousands of times.
100%.
So, and we both know that this is a long game.
Yeah.
It's a very long
Yeah.
game.
People that I get worried about, particularly it happens to somebody texted me. What you want? I worry about particularly women in stand-up comedy because
I want to discuss this.
yeah. Well, just because it first of all, it's ridiculous if you're a woman and you think you're not getting extra spots because you're a girl. Doesn't mean you haven't earned them necessarily, but it is completely delusional of you to think you're not getting more spots because they need women on the lineup. And that's fine. That's good. Lineup should have women too. But there's just like if there stand up is 80% men. It just is. There's just way more men. So if I need 2 women on my lineup, it's a smaller pool to pick from, right? It's just math here. So, and then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's be realistic about it. But anyways, in that vein, a lot of time what happens is if women start stand-up comedy, nobody's good in the beginning. They don't quite have the skills yet to sustain themselves. And so, but sometimes they'll just get picked up. They're like, we need women. And my fear with that for a lot of girls is they get burnt out too quick and they start doing rooms that they're not ready for.
Yeah.
And then they don't want them back 'cause they bomb.
Yeah.
And there's like an equilibrium you need to find in that vein that you can withhold the weight of the room you're in.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean.
And that's why like shows I want to be like, you guys, just because she's a girl or 'cause they're queer or whatever, it's like let them get to the level. You're not saying they're bad. It's like let
I
them
totally
get
know what
ready
you're saying.
for your
They're
room.
not ready for that.
They're not ready. Let them do smaller rooms first, you know, like
Yeah. And it's like it's tough because they sort of have to put them in that situation.
yeah.
They don't have to,
Yeah.
but like it literally looks bad if you don't.
What do you mean?
Do you remember the whole Facebook drama,
Oh my God, yeah.
which was started by Sam Selby?
Everyone's so immature on Facebook.
That was so
Stop.
stupid.
Why is anybody posting on Facebook? Stop posting on Facebook.
I know, I agree. That's what
Boomer.
boomers. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But like,
What are we
it's like
doing?
even when
What are we
people are
doing?
trying to book women
Yeah.
are getting mad and saying
Yeah.
that you shouldn't be like posting about booking women. It's like
Yeah.
clearly they're trying to help.
Yeah.
That's such a dumb fucking complaint.
I know.
And also you're gatekeeping it from women who may not have been heard of. Don't just say
know.
you should know who to book. That's not how that works.
Yeah. I know. I feel I get both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
I get being annoyed as a woman, being frustrated and being like, I'm around. You know women. Like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like that is kind of true, but then it's also like, dude, it's who cares? You know, who cares? Let them be like, I need a girl.
Just be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
there are
I
definitely
get both sides of it, but it's just like, also, why are we arguing on Facebook? Let's just have a discussion.
Totally. If you're like if you're a girl, a young girl in this scene, it's definitely easier to get booked than a young guy,
Totally.
which I don't view as an advantage because I suck right now and I need to suck for a while.
It can disadvantage. I mean, I'm just the reason I said it because you see so many girls that they start and then a year later they are not doing stand up anymore because they got so hot so quick.
Yeah, and they did.
They thought
a
that was going to be
shitload
their
of shows. Yeah.
whole life, and then it was not. And they burned themselves out, and they peaked way too quick. And that's why it's like you're not helping them in the long run.
No.
You know,
No.
let them work, let them cook. They're
Let
gonna
them
get there.
cook.
They're gonna get there. They're just not there yet. No one's there yet in the beginning.
Totally. Yeah, that's why I'm I'm pretty juiced that I've got nothing going on. I'm not kidding. I'm like not kidding though, because I like Sam Morril said there's like a tremendous amount of value to just failing in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And
You don't. Yeah, because that's the thing.
I don't wanna
Failing
fail
in
in front
front
of-
of everybody is rough
Yeah.
on the ego.
I
It
know
is
I'm not
rough.
ready, and I know that if I was put into a position, because okay, so I'm adapting this screenplay, and then I'm trying to sell it, and I literally just like these dreams of grandeur. I'm thinking like, what if it gets on Netflix, and then what if like,
though? Yeah.
what if like clubs are asking for me to headline, but then I was like, but I'm not gonna have an hour,
Yeah.
and then what if I have to do an hour? Then what if it's not good,
Yeah.
and then they don't book me back?
Yeah.
And I literally was like, I don't want my show to get sold. Which is all stupid thinking, but
Yeah.
I mean, there is something to that of like if you get a really big opportunity before you're able to capitalize on that opportunity,
right.
there goes your opportunity.
That happens with people going on Kill Tony a lot, which is why no
Because you can do a minute.
no good comic like actually respects Kill Tony.
My
But
friend literally texted me about it today, and I was like,
it's like you're doing a minute. Anybody can either you can be the best comedian in the world and bomb for a minute, or you can be the worst comedian in the world and do well for a minute.
so true.
And it's like if you do well, you'll get a lot of attention, which is cool and good for comedians. But it's also not if you're not ready for it. That is because then people are gonna want you on their shows. And I also blame bookers. Be more discerning. If you're running clubs and you're running shows, be more discerning about who you're putting on these shows.
Yeah.
Like some people aren't ready for it just because they had a good minute or whatever, you know.
Totally. But also, their job is to make money. So
right,
it's tough
but it's
'cause
you're
they're gonna sell
harming yourself
tickets.
in the long run.
They're
though.
harming them.
If
they're
you
harming the comic, I think.
They're harming the comic,
more
but they're
than they're
also harming
harming
them. If you book somebody who's not ready and they are doing 40 minutes and they suck for 35 of those minutes, people are gonna want to come back to your club.
That's true.
You're hurting yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not good at your job.
I mean, yeah. Seems like a lot of bookers aren't good at their job.
Oh my God, bookers are something else.
Isn't
I
that
haven't
a-
even dealt with the half of it either. I'm not that high up, but
I mean, I haven't dealt with any of it. I just like look at lineups,
no, they're
and I'm just like, what?
bad. Comedy,
But that's
especially
all.
club bookers, are so insane too, because they like think they have some control over comics because they
They
run-
do.
and because they do, and half of them are insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't even dealt with a lot of it, but I've just heard so many stories about how insane these people are, and I'm like, it is a wild thing that comedians do just to make money at the thing they love doing.
I know, dude. It's so weird that we have to just not make money for so long
So long.
to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even even comedians who are like doing very well and are, you know, full-time
Like the
comedians,
upper 1%.
they're so broke, by the way, at least in Chicago scene, because we don't have industry here, so it's not like, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like they are still so much like I have more money because I have a day job, you know.
Mhm.
So it's like, I mean, good for you if you can make it work and you can do it full time, but it ain't like they're living the high life.
No. No.
They just are
it's-
doing it because they love it.
Yeah, the whole 'cause we both know people in Chicago who are really, really good, but they're not really. It's not like they have like a lavish life or anything.
They don't have a lavish life because they don't. It's hard to get a following when you live in Chicago because there's no industry and you're not getting seen on television really.
So are you staying in Chicago?
Girl, I don't know. Probably not forever.
I love talking to comics about this.
Yeah,
It's so funny to be like, so when are you moving?
I know.
I'm.
It's a thing of timing too. Is like when do you move? Because
When
you're either
is the
going to
right
LA or New
time?
York, and LA
or Austin.
or oh, yeah,
I could see you
true.
in Austin.
God no,
Yeah,
rotted.
your edgier material would thrive there.
Yeah, it would, but then you're just in Austin's a bubble and it's about to pop. Mark my fucking words.
I completely agree. It's a fake mecca.
It's a fake mecca, and it's gonna. You
It's
got
a
about
mirage.
you got about 5 more years, and it is gonna be poo poo.
This could really harm us from the industry's standpoint of having you saying that on the
I
internet.
know. What are you gonna do? Nobody. in
When
Austin-
Joe Rogan finds that,
I
he's never
know.
gonna have me on.
Well, it's like no comics I respect are in Austin. Do you know what I'm saying?
Shane Gillis,
Shane Gillis is good. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I take it back.
Matt McCusker.
I don't know him. Who?
Matt McCusker.
Maybe
his
I know
boy.
his face.
It's they do the podcast together, Matt and
Oh,
Shane.
I don't listen to his podcast, but I think Shane's really funny.
Yeah, I mean Shane's like one of the best comics in the world right now. Yeah, I don't think Austin's it. Okay, but I'm moving in like a year.
Are you? Where?
New York.
Are you?
Yeah.
Working out.
What?
You're gonna hustle.
I know. And I'm okay with because I'm just going from nothing to nothing.
Yeah.
So Chicago has basically been like that's also why I don't really care about getting booked in Chicago that much
Yeah.
because I just need to get funny.
Yeah.
Obviously, getting booked gets me more time, gets me more experience or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, basically just gonna go from nothing to nothing, and be with the big dogs.
Yeah. It's so
Yeah. Also, I'm
expensive.
from the East
New York's
Coast.
so
I
expensive.
know.
Yeah, me too. I'm from upstate. New
Oh
York.
yeah, fucking.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Oh wait.
Where are you from?
I'm from Jersey.
Oh,
I'm
nasty.
from Central Jersey. No.
Ew.
Where I'm from is so nice, and I know where you're from is not as nice as where I'm
True.
from,
True.
because you have one homeless guy.
But New Jersey, my stepdad? Yeah. That's a whole other thing. New Jersey as a whole, though,
Greatest state.
nasty.
It's National New Jersey Day.
It is nasty. Is it?
Hmm.
I have a shirt that says "fuck New Jersey."
Really?
It's true what they say about
You guys
New
are
Yorkers.
so
We hate New Jersey.
We have so much real estate in your fucking heads, just 'cause we're the best.
no. Oh my God. you
Everybody
are
wants to
boo-boo.
talk about
You
New
know, worst city in
Jersey.
the world. Worst city in the whole world. Newark. I
It's not great.
hate Newark.
It's not great. Look, you don't go to
Hate
New
Newark.
Jersey for the
if
cities.
I could
You don't go there
remove
for the
one
cities.
city, 9/11 it off the planet. Newark.
Oh, whoa.
Newark. Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
For me, it'd be Chicago right now. No.
I've been to Newark so many times for ridiculous
the
reasons.
cities suck.
It's
and
awful.
that's not what New Jersey's about, okay?
Yeah.
It's about great hockey. It's about the central part. That's where it's about. It is the greatest state
Okay.
that's ever been.
Okay.
But can you talk about
Even if
your,
you're a New Jersey fan, that's ridiculous.
Can you talk about your step sister, brother, whatever?
My step.
You have the joke
father?
about it. I was telling my coworker about this. I was like, "There's a comic in Chicago,
What,
and
the
she
homeless
has
guy?
like your grandfather slept with your
Oh yes. Oh yeah. So my mom has brother cousins. Is this what we're
brother
talking about?
cousins."
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
My mom has brother cousins. We're Hicks. Like I'm from Hicktown, New York. So yeah, to your credit, I'm from nasty boo boo, New York. And my mom my mom has brother cousins because my grandfather married a woman, had like I think 3 kids with her, 3 boys. I've met them like a couple times in my life. And then
Hot.
divorced her and then married my grandma who was his first wife's sister. And then had like 7 kids with her, and then my grandma raised her sister's kids.
Oh my God.
So my grandma raised like
she raised
her
10 kids.
I think so.
Jesus
I
Christ.
think my mom has 6 siblings. I think, maybe 5. I think there's 7 in the backgrounds. Yeah. And so my mom's like has brother cousins, but there was no incest, but nastiness.
It's so close.
But it's nastiness.
It's like
yeah.
inches away from
Yeah.
incest.
Oh yeah, it's white trashery.
It's incest adjacent.
for sure.
Yeah.
It is. It is. But it's also like
He must.
my man got after it.
I was just
My
gonna
man
say
got after it.
he's a player.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
you know Tim Smith from Chicago?
Yeah.
Comic.
I don't know if I know him well, but I know that name.
Drago, you know Dragovich, right?
Mhm.
So he was talking about how Tim Smith dated 2 sisters from the same family.
Like it's impressive if you can
It's
pull that
super
off.
impressive.
That's crazy.
I know. That's a testament to
Your game must be insane.
you a player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of the punchline of my joke where people are like, ew, gross. And I'm like, true. You're right for that feeling. But you're not
But-
realizing how fucking dope my grandpa was.
Yeah. He probably had some good dick.
Must have.
Do you think that your grandfather having a good dick somehow benefits you genetically as a woman?
How would it?
Like, do you have big dick energy?
Ooh.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, from a psychological standpoint?
don't know if
you kind
it-
of like carry yourself as if you did.
I don't know if it travels down the pipe like that.
No.
Literal pipe.
I guess not. That would be cool if it did.
Yeah.
There are some
It
women
would be cool.
that are like that.
He was kind of horrible.
He was horrible.
Yeah.
Most guys with big dicks are,
Yeah.
'cause they can be. Why was he horrible?
He's also
I mean, the whole.
he was like abusive to my grandma and stuff.
Which one?
Yeah. My mom's
It'd be
mom.
funny if he was really
Yeah.
nice to one and just
Yeah.
a huge
We called him
asshole to the
Grumpy
other.
Grandpa.
Grumpy Grandpa.
Yeah, like because he was just such a dick. But he liked me. Like we had a
Nice.
connection because I would give shit back to him even as a kid.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Game
And he
recognized
respected
game.
it. Like yeah, he was like game recognized game. He respected it, and we had like a special.
So you
connection.
did get something out of that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But none of the other grandkids did. They were all like,
Fuck them.
yeah.
Yeah.
My grandpa probably did.
They don't need it for comedy.
Yeah.
That's way better. What did your family think about you doing comedy?
They hate it.
They hate it?
They hate it.
They just
hate
tell you
it.
that?
My mom tried to get me fired once for
Oh
my
yeah,
jokes.
you fucking told me about that.
Yeah, my family's really
That's so fucked
nasty.
up. Do you still call your mom then?
We don't talk for other reasons. We have there's a lot to unpack, but yeah, we won't get into it. But
So and I can cut this out. So you don't talk to your mom and your dad's about to die.
right.
So are you already?
My stepdad's around though. He's doing
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but yeah. Not
It's a
good.
fun place to be.
Yeah, my dad, the one that's dying, we've had issues in the past too.
How
But-
long's he got?
We don't know. Could be a couple months. Could be less. I don't know.
I have a dead dad.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I thought you knew that.
Maybe you might have told me.
I don't joke about it that much.
Dead Dad Club.
Yeah, DDC.
DDC.
Yeah, I used to date a girl who had a dead dad, and she would always like. I had like a very tumultuous relationship with my dad, especially near the end, and she would always be like, "We both have daddy issues," and I just wanted to be like, "No, you loved your dad.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you had an issue with death.
Yeah. You.
My issue was I had daddy issues and then he died.
Right.
You like loved and idolized your dad
Right.
and then like
Right. What's worse?
that's hard to say.
Yeah.
That is hard to say. I don't know. But it is kind of weird saying you have it'd be like if you loved your dog and then he died, you'd be like, I have doggy issues.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like no, you
what's
just
the issue with your
you just
dog?
don't
He's
like-
dead.
Right. Yeah,
Oh, well.
totally.
It's kind of a universal issue.
Right.
Dying.
Has less to do with the dad,
Correct.
more to do with the essence of life itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it's all about is just not being a shitty dad. It's kind of all that.
Yeah. Parenting looks so hard.
No.
No?
Looks so easy.
Liar.
Buy a leash.
Buy a leash.
Get a harness.
Yeah. 'Cause here's the thing, it's like you're gonna fuck your kids up. Nobody gets out of childhood unscathed. Nobody does. So you're gonna, and it's just how do you minimize
You just
it?
have to fuck them up in the right way.
Right. How do you make them funny? You know?
Yeah.
And
Dude,
cool.
Could you imagine?
And not like shoot up a school.
I was talking about this with the girl before the whole thing, but she was like, "What would you do if your kid was boring?"
I know.
That's probably my worst fear. I'd rather have an evil
know.
kid who's like very motivated in his evilness
Right.
than somebody who's just got nothing going on.
Right. Right.
God, that sucks so much. And then you'd be like, "Is this a reflection of me?"
Right. And here's the thing too, it's like kids go through such phases, like especially girls. Girls are assholes as teenagers.
I had an older sister.
Assholes. So you know.
Yeah, I heard. I
Horrifying.
heard the screams. And
We are such nasty, evil creatures as
Mm.
teenagers. 'Cause it's like, yeah, of course you are. You're feeling all these feelings for the first time. You don't know what's happening. You have all these emotions. If you have mental illness, compile that on top of it.
which I feel like is a given
It's-
now.
right. And it's like just so cruel, particularly to our mothers. Horrible to them.
Why do you think that is?
Because your mom's never going to stop loving you, so you can unleash all of your terror on her, and she's still going to love you afterwards. And you don't have to worry about your friends being like, well, fuck you. I'm not going to hang out with you anymore.
Damn.
Your mom's there. She's stuck.
That's kind of fucked up.
And she's a woman, so she's felt what
She's
you're
been
feeling.
through it.
And so it's like,
What's the most fucked up thing you've said to your mom in the heat of the moment?
oh my God. I've
With
said
that rage.
horrible things to my
When was
mother.
the peak of your rage? What age range?
Probably like 15, 16.
Okay.
I was also horrifyingly depressed. Like I started taking antidepressants when I was 17. It didn't heal all of our problems, but it fixed so much. And my mom for a long time was just like, just pray it away, just pray it away. And
That
it's like,
always works.
yeah. And like, this is not working. Can I get pills, please? And then it fixed so much. But no, I was awful to her. So much to the point where people would be like her friends and stuff would be like, you are horrible to your mother. And I was 16. I didn't
Damn,
care.
You're one of those kids.
I didn't care.
I would go over and watch people be mean to their parents.
Yeah.
I'd be the one.
I
that
was
was like,
horrible.
You bitch.
My friends would be like, "You're awful to your mom." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't." Because my mom also didn't give me boundaries.
I can't believe
She was
it.
like a I'm your friend, I'm not your parent type of mom,
Ooh.
which is worse. Because then I was
This
a
is very interesting.
raging cunt.
What'd you say to her, or how'd you act in front of your friends toward her?
She would do something wrong, and I would just like insult her.
How so?
I'm trying to remember.
Like on what level were you just like, you dumb bitch?
I don't know. I wouldn't like swear at her. But I would be like, "Why are you doing this? Why?" And had no respect for her, no respect whatsoever.
What?
Oh, horrible. I was really a horrible teenager.
That's so crazy that you're so aware of this and just talking about it.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would like to think I'm not that horrible of a human anymore.
That's what I'm saying. is
Yeah. But no, I was awful.
Did you
And I took it all out on her.
ever have a moment or like an epiphany where when you were doing that, were you aware that you were doing it in some capacity?
Yes, but I was hurting so much that I knew I was being awful, but I was hurting so much that I did not care. I didn't care.
You
Like, have
could
you seen the movie Lady Bird?
No.
Lady Bird's like about
Saoirse
Ronan.
Ronan.
It's about this teenage girl's
Worcestershire.
relationship with her mother and it's kind of accurate, but I also didn't really resonate with it because in that movie she's just kind of being awful for being awful. And in the context of what I went through, it was like, no, I was being horrible because I was in deep, deep rooted pain and couldn't escape it, and so I was taking it out on her.
You
And
don't think Shorsher was in pain?
I mean, I guess, but it's more just like I at least my interpretation of that movie. Feel free to disagree with me, whoever is watching this, but in my interpretation of it was she's just a teenager, and teenagers are just shitty, and they just grow out of it, and it's like, well, there's a root to that in my mind.
Of course.
And it's like, not teenagers are just awful because they're awful. It's like, no, there's a lot going on, and that's why they're so awful. And I don't, at least I didn't. It's been a long time since I watched that movie, but when I watched it, it was like it didn't really delve into that much in my mind. And I would have liked to see like what the teenager was going through internally. She was just kind of awful.
So what was the root of your anguish?
Depression, and also my mom was like, everybody has fucked up parents, so whatever. My mom is like a loving, good lady, but she never gave me any boundaries. But she also just did stupid stuff. Like we were so poor and didn't need to be as poor as we were because she would
That's
just
a funny way to put it.
give and throw money away at
Oh
nothing.
man.
And we
that
were so
sucks.
poor, and I would like beg her to get a job, and she like wouldn't. And so it was like that stress of like literally getting foreclosure notices, and we shouldn't be doing this. My dad has a state job. This is crazy. Why is this happening? And she just didn't get it. Like she's one of those people that like stuff doesn't click for. But she was like loving, which is the weird juxtaposition.
Sure.
Where she like wasn't a particularly good like provider or anything, like, but she was like very loving.
Yeah.
Which is a weird, and I don't know. And I was like very logical and intelligent, but also had all this pain. So I would just like, I'd want to like strangle her and be like, why aren't you getting this? Why aren't you understanding what I'm understanding as a 17-year-old?
Yeah. It almost seems like she was like your older sister.
She was very much like, I'm your friend,
Is she
not your
younger?
mom type of mom. She was 27 when she had me.
That's pretty young.
And half of the time.
Wait, how old's your mom now?
55?
Yeah, my mom's like a decade older than yours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's like as
I
an
mean,
adult.
imagine if you had a kid right now.
Oh, I know. She had two. I had an older sister.
Imagine if you had two.
I know. I do think about that now. It's like I can't if I ever like whenever I do mushrooms or like it's like, you know that meme where I don't know if you see these memes where it's like you got a joint and then the first part is like this is fun and silly. And then when you get to the second half, it's like having empathy for my mother.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah,
think
yeah,
about
yeah.
all of the pain that she also went through. And
Dude, I get down that wormhole.
yeah, and I'm like when I start thinking about my mom, I'm like I can't. I'm gonna sob. I can't start thinking about.
That
know.
means you gotta. If there's a staircase, you gotta go
You
down
gotta,
it.
Yeah.
If there's a door, you gotta go through it.
Yeah. It gets too dark too quick, and I'm like, oh my god. Yeah.
So have you since had like a conversation with her and been like, hey, sorry about that?
We've talked about it before. How awful I was. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Candidly?
To her credit, she loved me through it. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
See, as a guy, I never had that. I literally remember being in high school and being like, what is stress? I don't even understand what stress is or like
Really?
depression. Yeah,
No way.
totally. I mean, I had in
Oh my
middle school,
God.
I had a lot of deep, fucking bad, whatever. But just like lots of like suicidal ideations or whatever.
Yeah.
And
middle
those
school?
came back. Yeah, in middle
Wow.
school.
But not in high school.
In high school, I was sort of like, I've accepted that a lot of this has been shitty. And I also had so many great friends.
Mm.
And just all that really mattered was just like my friends were there and it was okay. And but also just like I didn't give a shit about school really.
Mm.
It was like I could just like slack my way to a low A in like most classes. So I just remember like my sister would get all worked up about stuff and her room was next to mine and she was getting into college at the time and I would just hear her like being hysterical
Mm-hmm.
and stuff and like she would fight with my mom a lot. And I just remember being like, what is all of this? I don't understand. And we'd be at dinner and my mom and my sister would kind of be going at it. And me and my twin brother would just be like, just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop yelling at her.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
accept that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like we just didn't understand
Yeah.
why she was going at her.
No, totally.
Uh,
Totally. Girls and their moms, it's like a whole thing. Do boys and their dads have that type of
I
thing?
mean, me and my dad had a whole fucking thing that was really dumb. He like he told all of us that my twin brother was his favorite. Yeah. And then
oh my god.
I mean, he told me at one point when our parents were going through a divorce that he also like was definitely bipolar and he like lost his fucking mind. But he told me at one point he was like, Teddy's my favorite, Allie is mom's favorite. What does that make you?
Wow.
And I want to be like,
no wonder you have daddy issues.
funny.
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good conversationalist.
Dude, that's rough.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But it was just it was like a very different thing than what you're describing.
Right.
Because mine was like this. There's like a reign of terror, and I
Right.
want this because when you grow up, it's like this is the person that's your hero.
Right.
This is your dad.
Right.
And then
That's your like pillar of what
exactly.
a man is. Yeah.
And then at way too young of an age, I realized like this is a guy whose life is falling apart.
Yeah.
And
humanizing your parents is the most humbling
it's so
experience of
bad.
adulthood.
I
It's
know.
awful.
I mean, it happened to me when I was like 11.
Wow.
I had that
That's too
realization
young,
because
yeah.
he'd be on the couch. He was a type 2 diabetic, and he'd just be wasting away his life watching the Discovery Channel. He
Wow.
doesn't have a job. I ask him what he did all day. He can't. He's just like, oh, I sent out my resume, but I know he just did fucking nothing.
Wow.
Our house that got taken from the bank
Oh my god,
because
I'm
he
sorry.
fucking no.
Holy shit.
It's all whatever. But he just was like, I just remember being a kid and just looking at this full-grown adult who I used to think was my hero and who I wanted
Right.
to be exactly like, and I was like, I don't want to be anything like
Right.
you. And also, but at the same time, I still want you to love me.
Right.
It was very weird.
God.
It was very weird.
That's what I'm saying. Parents fuck you up and you fuck up your parents.
Yeah, we do fuck up our parents. I guess we don't think about it the other way
Yeah.
that much because we're all also. I mean, just even thinking about your parents critically for the first time and like the fact that they used to be our age.
Mm-hmm.
What were they like at our age?
Mhm.
I would love to sit down with my parents when they were our age.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I talked to Sam about this. The hardest thing to reconcile with is the fact that at this point in my life, I saw my dad as like this evil person who hated me and was like this, would freak out on everything and just everything was falling apart. But then you hear stories like at his funeral, his best friend was talking about, and he was also like a great storyteller. He was a very charismatic guy when he wanted to be. And you'd hear stories about him in college and how fun of a guy he was and like all the cool shit he did. And then you're just like, so you can just go from that to this?
Right.
I thought you were always one thing.
Right.
And then you just were that for your entire life.
Right.
Dude, so this fucked me up. So I had this girl text me in the morning and say like, let's end things. I think we should end things. I shouldn't have been that hurt by it, but I was really genuinely hurt by it.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucked me up a little bit. And then the next day, this was on Thursday, I went to lacrosse practice. I was coaching all the boys, and
LAX guy.
what?
LAX
Yeah,
bro.
exact lax bro. But then I saw this other guy who I'd worked with prior, and I was like, why is he at our practice? He's like 40 or something, and he came up to me, just wearing his sunglasses. He wasn't wearing like the apparel that we were supposed to be wearing, and I was just like, well, how's it going, man? I haven't seen him in like 2 months. Last time I saw him, everything was going great, and he just was like, yeah, I've been in the city a lot. And I'd be like, why are you in the city? And he's like, trying to find someone. And I was like, you're married? And he's like, just got divorced. And he is a 1.5-year-old.
Oh my god.
And like last time I saw him, he was just telling me about like how great everything was. And he just looked
so
at me,
sad.
this jacked dude who I know is of great character and a good guy. He just looked, I was like, what happened? And he looked at me and his lower lip quivered. And he just said, people change.
Oh my god.
And it fucked me up. I literally got in my
that's
car
so
after and I was
sad.
just like, I'm upset about a girl who after a 5th date
Right.
ended things. This, I mean, it could be
Wow.
it put things into perspective really
Right.
quickly for me.
Right.
Because I was just like, holy fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, that rocked me to my core.
Wow.
And then just that whole fear of,
I don't respect marriage.
I respect the fuck out of marriage.
I don't. I think it's rotted. I think it's a stupid institution.
I mean, if you can pull it off, good God. I mean, do you not want to get married?
No.
I
Hell
want to
no.
get married.
Oh God, no.
Do you not want kids?
No.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm having a great time. Well, that's not true. Not
I
always,
need
but-
kids, dude. I have this
Yeah.
biological. When I see little kids, dude, they're so cute.
I do. I love kids. I don't want any.
You
I
will.
love kids.
You will.
No, I will not. I'm a woman. This is when it kicks in. I should have had them already. Nah, I don't want kids. I love kids. I love being around
Oh,
kids.
they're
I want
so
to be the
cute.
cool aunt. I can't wait for my friends to start having kids.
Damn. I don't know why it bothers me so much when people say they don't want kids.
Hmm.
It's just like my mom and I talk about that because we just all love. I don't know. My mom literally told us one time.
Here's the thing. I don't need somebody to look like me to love and have a connection with children.
It's not. Yeah, totally. I don't need that either. It's just like I feel like it's my purpose, ultimately.
That's cool. I mean, that's what you're. I don't really respect people who have like 10 kids. I'm like, come
No,
on.
that's like
That's an ecological nightmare. But yeah, if you're
Daniel
so-
Tosh has a joke. He's like 21 and counting. That show could be. That show should be called Wrecked Pussy.
yeah, yeah. No, but I think if you're the type of person who like really wants kids and that will fulfill you, I think that's a beautiful thing. Just not my path. I want to do
Yeah.
other things. I like having free time.
For me, it's like I just want to be everything that my dad was not, and so I just have
It's
like
almost
that
like
chip on my
redemption.
shoulder. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like maybe
I'm gonna
I
be
can
better
do
than you.
totally.
Yeah.
Which how could I not be?
Yeah.
But I mean when I was younger, he was fine. But yeah, that means a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I do say that, and it
To
is.
sculpt somebody.
It is
to
not my path in life, but I do see that sometimes, and I'm like, I can see how that's nice for people. I get it.
Yeah, just from coaching, and like seeing kids develop things that you're giving to them, and saying things that, and then having the understanding that what you're saying is actually resonating with them,
Yeah.
and they'll repeat things back that you said to them.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god.
That's why I loved teaching.
I'm actually exactly.
Yeah.
And to be able to witness that transformation over
Right.
a long form
so special.
would be the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then to get to the point where I'm having, I mean, you watch them go from not having a consciousness to then having a conversation with you,
Yeah.
to them being a cunt to you. Even when
Yeah.
your mom was getting yelled at by you, she must have been like, this is kind of cool.
I don't know if she's thinking that, but she's thinking, I love this little brat.
Yeah.
I love this asshole.
This used to just be a little sack of, this came out
Yeah.
of my pussy.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
I almost wonder if it would be the opposite, where you're like, I made you. I made you, and you're gonna talk back to me?
It is a lot of disrespect.
You could. Yeah.
Yeah. Sam was telling me that his brother beat up his dad one time, and his dad just won't let it go. His dad just like, I'm your father.
yeah. Yeah.
You fucking beat me up, dude.
Yeah.
And I said, I was like, that's like the second worst thing that you can do to your dad, aside from fucking his wife.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god.
But yeah, beating up your dad is bad.
Yeah.
You need to end.
I don't need to end.
I'm very loose with everything on this,
Okay.
so anytime you wanna.
I just told a friend I would meet her around 2, and I forgot. And I don't know, how long does this podcast usually go?
It's whatever. I mean, I always go over the hour mark. Me and Drew did a 3-hour ep.
Oh my god.
247. Guess what? Over 1,000 hours of watch time.
Wow.
Yeah. People actually listened.
That's pretty good.
It's
I'm
insane.
scared.
That's insane. I really hope people. I really hope the gay freaks
Yeah.
give you a chance. I
These
think they will.
homos won't like
This is
me.
gonna be big for my female viewership.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They'll,
Oh,
they'll resonate with the
Did I-
being evil stuff.
the girl that that ended things. She so I talked. It's kind of weird with the podcast because I kind of hate how open I am, but as I said that we've been so open, but
yeah, I know.
it just it feels self-aggrandizing. Is that the right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, but because of you can track my progress romantically on the podcast
yeah,
from
yeah.
pre-workout with Max Sorich. I literally am stressing to him because I just ghosted a girl on Hinge. Oh, I didn't ghost her. I basically stood her up and I was like, hey, I need to focus on comedy or whatever.
Yeah.
And Max was like, you're so stupid. She was so hot. What are you doing? And then that entire podcast is just me being like, I'm not made for love. Like, and then me getting drunk in his house and being like, I just have to
Go
focus
fuck
on
your
comedy.
collar. I'm gonna grab it.
Thank you. And then literally like 2 episodes after that, I was like, I met someone. And then
Isn't it funny how quickly it shifts? When
I
you
know,
like
it's
somebody,
so
though?
crazy.
You're like, I'm gonna die.
and what I
alone.
really like, yeah. And then like the next couple
And you're, like,
episodes,
twirling your hair.
absolutely,
Your
just
feet.
with like the phone and my
Yeah.
legs are kicking behind
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And then so I did an episode with him, Guys in Socks, which was 2 eps ago, and I talked about my first kiss with her. You were at Easy In when I
Yes,
talked about that.
yes.
I was like
I
7
thought it
for
was
7.
so funny. You're like, I kissed 7 women or however many.
Yeah, I've
I
kissed
was like,
7
you have
women,
an exact number. That's so funny to me.
which I didn't expect to be
You're
funny
like, but I
at
had
all.
sex with 5 of them, which is great odds.
It's a good ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny.
But
that just made me laugh that you had an exact number.
yeah. But so I talked about the first kiss that I had on the podcast and how like I had to ask and how I'm not cool
Yeah.
and how I have to ask every single time.
Yeah.
And then that was the one episode she actually watched,
Yeah.
and she just texted me and she was like, she's definitely not going to watch this, but
Yeah.
she texted me and she was like, oh, the camera just died.
Oh,
That's fine.
is that the end of the episode?
We have the audio.
Oh, nice.
But she texted me and she was like, "Yeah, it would have been a lot cooler if you didn't ask." And and when she said that, I was like, "This is funny." She's being sarcastic. And now after she ended things, I was like,
She was being serious.
I was that's where I fucked up.
How did you
I was
ask?
too much of a pussy.
Were you like nervous about it? Were you like, can I kiss you?
No,
Or
I was
were
like,
you,
"Can I kiss you?" No,
Are
no.
you smooth?
Well, I was in the car. I don't think I've ever been smooth, which is the problem with me. But
I think there's a way you can do it where it's hot.
I said it was not hot. I was next to her in the car. Dude, she was like starting to get out of the car and she like opened the door and I started another conversation. She closed the door and I was like, "All right, I have to capitalize on this now."
That's
And
the
then-
moment.
But my seatbelt was on and I was like, "I can't take it off because then she's gonna know what I'm doing." But
Right.
why does it matter if she knows what I'm doing? But I just overthink literally everything. So then I just was like, "Can I kiss you?" And then she said yes. Then I went for it.
That's cute.
Apparently girls aren't into it. I looked on Reddit.
It's not hot, but it's cute.
Not hot. Nothing I do is hot.
It's
It's
not
so
red hot.
frustrating. I just want to be fucking hot.
Maybe
Just
that's
wanna
not
be
your
hot,
lane.
man. Huh?
Maybe that's not your lane.
Oh, I know it's
I'm not hot either. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I feel like I'm like a goober.
A goober?
Yeah. Like I'm not like nothing I do is like sexy. You know how you meet some people and you're like, oh, you're like sexy. What is that like?
That's true.
I've never been that.
That is the big question. What is
Yeah.
it like?
What is it like?
What's it like to
I don't
be
know.
sexy?
I feel like I'm a fucking Gumby over here. You know?
But there's also like I'm not really into hot women. I'm into like pretty women.
Mm.
You know?
Mhm.
Hot seems like volatile.
Mm.
It seems like it won't be sustainable.
Right.
Hot seems like it will melt in the summer sun.
Yeah.
Beautiful seems
Wow.
like
What a
it
metaphor.
will,
Beautiful metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simile. Oh no. No, it wasn't.
Bitch.
I was wrong. But yeah, I don't know. But when you think wife material, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Not hot.
Lovely.
Hot is kind of like trophy wife.
Right.
Beautiful is like,
Right.
madam.
You could be both though.
You can. You can be beautiful and do hot things.
Mhm.
I mean, you can be. I've had. Has this ever happened to you with guys in comedy? I've had this happen with a lot of women, where I don't initially find them attractive, and then I'll see them do well on stage,
Absolutely.
and I'm like, oh my
Absolutely.
god, dude.
Absolutely.
I'm like biting my lip in the open mic, like,
Oh, 100%. I remember there's this one guy that my friend was like, yeah, this girl has a crush on him. I guess a lot of people have a crush on him. I was like, that guy, really? And that, because I like, didn't know him that well. And then I saw him on stage and like got to know him a little better. I'm like, oh, no, I totally get it, actually. I 100% get it. Yep.
That's so cool.
It's all making sense.
That's guys' biggest advantage over women, I think, is that women are less shallow than guys generally.
Yeah.
So a guy can not be that attractive.
Yeah.
This is the whole blonde guy barrier to entry thing.
Yeah.
A guy cannot be that attractive, but as soon as I feel like a girl is into a guy, it's kind of like you just got to run with it.
Yeah. I mean, look at how many beautiful women date absolute toads.
I don't understand it.
It's crazy, and it makes me angry because then what happens is those nasty little
You have a joke about this.
poo-poos, yes, I do, think that they are going, they think they're on the level of the woman they're dating.
Totally.
They think they're 10, and they are not. You
No.
are a nasty little rodent is what you
Totally.
are, and you just lucky that girl liked you. You are lucky.
It's the
You're
woman.
Mr. Potato Head,
What is
okay?
she
That's
doing,
who you
though?
are.
What is she doing? Why is she doing that? Because
It's
It's
because
s-
women, it's about way more about chemistry than looks.
but she could have anybody.
Yeah, but
She
it's
could
like,
find somebody else with better chemistry. Right?
No.
Is there
No,
like a few-
chemistry's hard to come by, whether you're man, woman. Chemistry's hard.
Sure. That's true.
Chemistry's hard.
I honestly feel like I could fall in love with anybody. It's so bad.
Really?
Yeah, I mean anybody that I like, I'm like it's bad. It's bad. though.
Wow.
Because but that's after
You're
like
just a lover boy.
I am a lover boy.
Yeah.
It sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah.
I was telling one of my friends about this because I had a girlfriend, and every single time we had sex, we would just be like, I love you so much, all that bullshit. And then the next time I had sex, which was with another girl, like
You wanna do the same
the
thing?
moment my penis went
Yeah.
in, I literally was like, and
Oh,
I literally was just like,
no.
I'm Pavlov's dog.
Oh no.
I heard the bell and I started
I know.
drooling.
I kind of used to be like that too, where if like
bad.
I liked you, I really liked you.
I think I still am like that.
Yeah.
I think that's why I fucked up
Yeah.
the last thing.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something really embarrassing
Yes,
about
please.
that? Which is
Did
like
you say you loved her? You did
no,
not. Okay.
but this. I mean, I am so bad at hiding who I am that I normally I think it's just overwhelming. But I posted on Instagram like 10 slides, and it was just a bunch of stuff that was going on in my life, and the last slide was a picture of a whiteboard, and it said like it was at my climbing gym, and it said like if you could be one animal, what would you be? And early, like when we were texting like a week in, I suck. When we were texting like a week in, she said she like the best animal to be would be like an Icelandic horse, and I wrote Icelandic horse on the board and underlined it, and I was like, I'll just put this at the end of the photo dump, just 'cause it's like a cool thing, and I'm into her.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, everything came crashing down.
Here's the thing, though. If that's what tipped
I don't
it over
think
the
that's what
edge-
tipped it over, but I think that could have been like, okay, he clearly is.
Yeah. How many
he's
dates had you gone on?
He's a little queer. 5.
It's not that many.
No,
Yeah.
no,
I don't think that
enough for me.
is an issue, though. I would if I. It's more of a. It's like she probably just wasn't into you.
No, she definitely was not.
If she
Which
if she was
sucks to
into if
realize.
she's into you, it's like that's cute. That's a nod. You're like, aw, he's into me.
It's all I've been reconciling with is like if she was into me, she'd be into
Yeah.
me.
It's just she just wasn't the one for. I mean, it sucks because sometimes it just wasn't right.
It's weird to think about somebody just not being into you,
I know.
because then you're like, how could they, like, what was wrong with me? But then it's like, is there anything wrong with me? It's probably
No.
just.
Because I've had dudes that like are, you know,
Toads?
toad cockroaches that are not into me, and I'm like, am I crazy? Like, and then dudes that are like way cooler than them, so into me, and it's like, it's not, you know what I mean?
Because yeah, I guess we're viewing it externally.
It's not like a better or worse thing. It's just like it's a chemistry.
happens.
It's just like, is it right or is it not right?
Also, but then it's like, how did I misread this so bad? Because I
know,
was
yeah.
having so much
That is
fun,
a
and I
thing.
thought
I'm gonna put my shoes back on. So
she was
cameras
having so much fun.
I mean, yeah, she probably. I mean,
Spending so much
I
time
don't
just
know.
talking. And
People are just so all about mixed signals too. It's a
I
nasty.
can't send mixed
dating
signals. I'm
atmosphere.
very. Do you want to check my Hinge really quick?
Yeah,
And then we'll get out of here.
sounds good.
Start plugging dates while I'm looking for my phone.
Plugging
Oh,
dates.
also, if you want this,
What's that? Oh my God! Please! Oh my God! Please!
for the people still listening, I
Wait,
just
this
gave
is beautiful.
Kaylee
I understand
my
why you picked this
accidental
up.
smut.
I really love this cover.
So I do want to say it's not. It is, I guess, smut. I don't really know where the line is
I
for smut.
just finished my last smut book.
Oh my god.
Baby, we are queuing this bad boy
So when
up.
I don't want you to read that and think that I was like over exaggerating, because I've never
This
read
is a
smut.
gorgeous cover.
It is. I've never read smut before.
Yeah. Do you want to read mine?
Honest. Okay, I have a
It's
couple
very
books I
tame.
need to
It's
get
pretty
through.
tame.
Because whenever I'm sad, I buy books, so I keep buying books. But I'm at 490 subscribers now.
Oh hell yeah.
Let's just see if if there's anything going on. Yeah. So let me know what you think about the smut and that.
I will.
I would feel guilty if there wasn't as much as you're expecting, because I feel like your books are like designed for smut people,
Yeah.
and mine was sort of like an offshoot of smut. It was like a smut accessory.
Yeah. What I've been reading is it's not even smut. It's like romantasy they call it, which is like fantasy, but like there's like sex scenes in it. So it's more like sci-fi.
You're into like it's like a fairy thing, right?
It's like it's Akatar. The girlies will know. Yeah, and it's
I think one of my friends named Elsa reads that.
they're super popular. I did it because everybody on TikTok was like, "This is the fun smut book," and I was like, "All right, we'll try with that, and then we'll get into deeper stuff.
Uh-huh.
And we'll figure it out." But it's not like crazy good smut or anything. It's just like
What's good smut?
it's not. I'm just saying it's not like crazy sexy times. It's
Okay.
like there's like a couple scenes per book, and it's like 600
Yeah.
page books.
I think
But
I
they're
would
fun.
be. I think
It's a
I'd-
good toe dip in.
I mean,
it's
I've-
a blast.
good toe dipping.
Yeah.
It's I mean,
But you know what the
that was
problem
dipping
is?
my toes in.
I'm very excited about that. You know what the problem with these books is though?
What?
These stupid Akatar books that all the girls are reading nowadays. This woman who wrote them, Sarah J. Maas, this series has 5 books in it, and
Mm.
almost all of them are huge. So it takes you a while to get through those, right?
Okay.
Once you're through those, there's a whole universe apparently this woman's created, Evil Woman.
Oh,
There's
Mo.
like 30 books in the universe of like different, and it's like I'm this far in, I gotta.
You gotta keep going.
I can't stop.
Go deeper.
She's an evil woman for doing this. Yeah.
It's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah. But for like for horny young women. Yeah. It's crazy.
That is dangerous.
I think you'd enjoy them.
I mean, I'm afraid that I
I
would,
think you'd have
because
fun. They're fun. They're
the
really fun.
most I honestly didn't give that book that great of a review.
I'm
But
so excited. It's pristine condition too. This
can I
is
read
so
my
good.
review to that?
Yes, please.
Do you have Goodreads?
No, I'm not a big logger. Like I don't log. I don't
Oh,
have
I log.
Letterboxd either.
Everything.
I got one and then I got frustrated because I forgot to log my books and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Books are easy because you're only doing one like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This was so anticlimactic, an easy read and
Literally.
smut in disguise, but I was pretty disappointed. Many of the memories seemed insignificant. I was waiting for them to come back and really impact the story. They just never really did. This book made me masturbate in Newark International Airport, so I guess that's pretty cool.
Love.
2 stars.
I can't believe you only gave it 2 stars and you were so turned on you had to masturbate in an airport. Newark. Rotted.
I know, right?
Mhm.
In a place like that,
Yeah.
to get me to get turned on. I was gonna say something else. Oh, so I've written a book.
You have.
And
I haven't read this yet. I gotta read
yeah,
it.
you motherfucker.
I know I'm going to.
I was considering bringing my book, and then I was like, no, you have to buy it.
No, I'm gonna buy it.
I've been gatekeeping
And then I'm gonna
it.
read it at Easy Bar when I introduce you.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'm going to.
I have an author's note and everything.
Yeah.
But
Didn't Hannah make write a comment, like a review?
I think she did. I
think she
signed
wrote a cute
hers.
review.
I signed her copy.
Will you sign mine?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But I've written a book. I write a lot, and I've been the girls that I have sexted with words. I've been pretty good at that. So I think I have smut potential.
Are you gonna get into smut?
No,
Are you gonna start
no.
writing it?
I can't.
Oh my
do that.
God.
I actually can't because then it would be
Why
my
not?
2 biggest audiences are foot fetishists and girls
Lean
into
in.
smut.
Here's
Why are
everyone's
my
problem.
only skills?
No one wants to lean into the things they're good. Even if the thing you're good at isn't what you want to be doing, you better lean in, baby.
Zoom in.
Zoom in.
Yeah, I don't want to, but I mean, I think.
What if you become a millionaire? This woman the book's reading, she's a multi-millionaire.
Do they want smut from a guy?
Yeah.
Whoa. I feel like I don't
If you're
have my
good at
fingers
it.
on the pulse.
Literally,
This
figuratively.
could turn me gay. Like, if I'm just writing, because it's gonna be about a guy fucking a girl from a girl's perspective, right? Isn't that the whole hot aspect?
It could be from a guy's perspective. I think that would be hot too. If you're writing it in a way that women can like.
What if I just wrote disrespectful smut, where it was like I fingered her snatch?
Nah. Yeah. It's because the idea with smut is like porn is very visual. That's why so many men.
Correct.
I mean, women like it too, but like that's why men are like have so many porn addictions and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas the appeal with smut is it's like you're building. It's like romantic. Do you know what I mean? Like you're building.
I can do that. I can
And
get
so
romantic.
if you're just like, yeah, I fucked her good with my cock. It's like that's not really romantic, you know. I want a little more like ambiance. I want.
Yeah. I'm too romantic. I mean, I've written
You're a lover
poetry.
boy.
I've written
That's why I think
poetry
you'd be
for
good at writing
girls.
smut.
It's bad.
You're a poet. That's so
I
gay.
blame my mom for me being such a pussy, because like
It's all about perspective.
she has great penmanship, and she's written poetry, and I literally have like a fucking poem from my grandfather who shares my name on the wall
Harold?
outside my bedroom.
Is your name
Yeah.
Harold?
No, his name is Harold. I'm Harry,
You're just Harry.
but everybody called
Harry
him
and the
Harry.
Hendersons.
Something like that.
Mm.
I don't know who that is.
You never watch Harry and the Hendersons?
No,
It's an old movie.
I didn't even know what
About
Harry
Bigfoot.
Met Sally was until recently.
Are you serious?
I watched it. Obviously.
Where have you lived under a rock your whole life? It's a great movie.
That's why I'm so pale.
Yep.
I mean, my mom. I mean, you didn't know who Gary Shandling was,
That's true.
or Matt McCusker.
That's fair.
Some could say
I'm an old soul.
in this climate. Okay, you literally have a
I'm
fucking
not, no,
bit
I don't
about
think
that.
I don't think I am.
I hate when people say I'm an old soul.
I know. It is annoying. It's like, no, I think you're brand new, baby. I think you are fresh on this earth.
Have you heard Nate Bargatze's bit about going back in time?
No.
Can I tell you it? Because it's
Yeah.
like one of my favorite bits ever. He says, if we had a time machine and I went back in time tonight, I don't think you guys would even hear about it. I don't think I'd make a difference.
Mm.
Like, I think I'd get back there. I'd go to like the 20s. And I'd
Yeah.
see like a guy on a phone. I'd be like, we can like put those in our pockets now. And he'd be like, how do we do that? And he'd be like,
I don't know.
well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I mean, we have
No, for
satellites. And then he's like, what's the satellite? And he's like, I shouldn't have
Ah,
even.
Don't know.
It's like metal. Metal's
You-
got to go
right,
high.
right.
And then he was like, I mean, they'd want something. They'd be like, who's the next president? Oh, boy.
yeah.
Abraham Lincoln?
No,
You guys are going to love him. And he's like, I don't even know if I could prove I'm from the future.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
he's like, I would just do worse than I'm doing
That's
now. I just have
very
to be a
funny.
waiter or something.
That's very funny.
Yeah. It's like one of my favorite
That's
bits of all
dope.
time.
Or even if you think like 10 years ago, you're like, I buy a lottery ticket. It's like, you don't know any of the lottery numbers, girl? In what world?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You can't even remember who the vice president was.
All right, let's end on this.
Okay.
If you could go back in time
Right.
10 years,
Right. Boom.
what would you change?
Like about the world or about myself?
You can't change the world.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I guess. What do you mean? Like,
like
talking to your younger self, or do you mean like in general? What do you mean? What I change?
okay, actually, let's just say if you could just say one thing to yourself 10 years
Oh,
younger.
okay.
So 15-year-old Kayley Horton in the midst of a firefight with your mom.
Right.
You pull her aside.
Okay.
You're like in the ring when like they have like the
Mhm.
boxer and the coach is like wiping the scars off,
Mhm.
the blood off. You're talking to young Kaylee. What are you saying?
I would tell her. I would tell her. God, you put me on the spot here
Sorry.
because I'm thinking of a couple different things I would tell her.
Podcasting, man. It's a cruel, cutthroat world.
I know. I think I would tell her. Take the pills. Get the meds.
Take the pills?
Get the meds. Quick.
Okay. Get
Get
the
'em.
meds is better than take the pills. Take
Get
the
the
pills,
meds.
she could be like, maybe I should be an addict.
No. I'd be like, get yeah.
Get on them now?
Yes.
Okay. That's pretty
You'll
good.
feel way better. Feel
Yeah.
way better. What would you tell your younger self?
I'd be 14. I would say, honestly, you know what I'd say? I'd just say start writing.
Start writing.
Start writing
That's a good
right
one.
now. Also,
That's a good one. Well, my thing too is like I do like my life and I like where I ended up, so I wouldn't want to say too much to like change the trajectory of it, you know?
that's true. That's true. Yeah, I really wouldn't change anything because it could be so much worse.
Could be so much worse.
Could be so much worse. I mean, even the fact that we're able to be. I try to practice gratitude, but I
No,
mean,
it's good. That's good.
as I was walking here, I was like, I'm just doing a podcast with my friend.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
could be way worse.
It's cool. No, I mean, we
Yeah.
live in like my personal favorite city.
I mean, Chicago's the best.
Chicago's the best.
It's
I mean,
just
we live
for
in a
comedy.
gorgeous
There's
city.
a ceiling.
100%. But
Which
we get to
I'm-
do a thing we love and we're well fed and
Well,
we get to hang out with our friends
I know.
and it's like it's cool. Life sucks a lot, but it's also very cool.
A lot of people don't have good social lives, and we are in this thing where we'll see people that we like, and we're like, I don't even want to talk to them right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
It's
100%.
crazy how many people we know.
Yep.
And every single time you go to an open mic, you're meeting a new fucking person,
Oh man.
whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
And
And also stop getting offended when I don't remember you. I know a million people.
That's funny.
I meet a million people and I'm half drunk most of the time.
If someone's calling you out on you not remembering them,
They do.
that's fucked.
Sometimes people do.
Who did
And
that?
I don't honestly.
You should
I don't
just say
remember.
you don't remember.
I
yeah.
don't remember. I don't remember. You know, somebody asked me
That's on
yesterday.
them.
I hugged a guy I was friends with. I looked at him and I pointed at him and I went, you're here. And I hugged him. And later on, somebody goes, who was that guy? And I said, I don't remember. I remember the interaction. I don't remember who it was. And I was
Whoa.
friends with him because I remember I was like, that's a good friend of mine. I don't remember who it was.
He was a good friend of yours and you didn't remember?
Like a buddy. Like, not like besties, but like a buddy that I was
Okay.
excited to see. I was like, oh, hey.
Alright.
And I gave him a hug. And I was like, I remember the exact interaction. Don't remember who the person was.
I'll tell you this. I had an open micer look me dead in the eyes and
Yeah.
say, "Are we friends?"
What did you say?
I said, "There are tears to friendship."
Great answer.
That's
Great
a phenomenal answer.
It's a great answer.
So proud of myself
Such
for pulling
a good
that out.
answer.
And then I was like, "Yeah, but, I have
Such
certain
a good
friends who are
answer.
at this tier, and
Yeah.
then there are lower ones. That's sort
Yeah.
of where you're hovering
Yeah.
around."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "When am I going to be on your podcast?" And I was like,
You're not a
I'm-
podcast, dear friend.
"I'm gonna figure that out." Although it would be.
Who was it? Say the name.
Ian Zed.
Oh yeah. He's a nice guy.
Nice means nothing.
That's what, you know what? Max Sorich said this to me, and I was like, you are so right. He was like, yeah. Because basically I was like, oh, but they're so nice. He's like, that doesn't mean anything.
No.
Everyone is nice
You
unless
should be
piss
nice.
them off.
You should be nice.
And he's like, that doesn't mean you're a good person because you're nice. And I was like, you're so right.
I
He's like, you owe nice people nothing. And I was
Completely.
like, God, you really hit the nail on the head there, buddy.
I hate when people, you'll ask a lot of girls. I mean, guys do it too. But you'll ask somebody like, "Why are you with this person?"
Yeah.
They're nice.
Yeah.
It's like, so they're just not an asshole.
Right.
That's what you're saying, and
Yeah.
they probably are an asshole.
Right.
Nice is just such a nothing.
It's
fucking.
such an. You're so right.
If somebody
It's so true.
is describing me, and the first thing they say is nice, I have not done enough
Right.
to because that's just such a who fucking cares.
Right.
Call
yeah.
me.
Just
call
means
me,
you're not cruel to
Call me
strangers.
gay or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe Sam fucking called me whimsical.
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 That's so cute.
I know, and I looked it up, and it's a super apt description of me.
You're mad at how accurate it is.
I looked it. I was so mad when he told me. I was also like,
you
you're,
you
you're
do have a
black.
whimsical
What
spirit.
the fuck? You're saying whimsical?
That's
It's
so
not like He
cute.
has a good vocab.
That's so cute.
And he just said whimsical. I looked it up, and it was like playfully
Like,
quaint and
God
fanciful. And I was like,
damn
God
it.
damn it, I
God
am
damn-
playfully
You'd be
quaint.
a dandy.
Dandy?
Yeah.
What's
if you
that?
were in like, you know what a dandy is?
No.
Like, it's like an old school literary term where like, I'm not saying you're gay. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, it started with twink.
But it was like a guy who would just kind of like wear like a top hat, and he was like whimsical. He would like bop around. He was like a little flamboyant,
Oh man.
and he'd be like a little goofy guy. And sometimes he'd be fucking women. Sometimes he'd be fucking men.
Women are
just be
into
dandying
women are
around.
into like the goofy
Yeah.
on like a deep level, but it's hard to get past the. It's hard to get to that level.
Right.
But I feel like women like
You
that's
just gotta find the right
so many
woman.
so many women would like Olivia Munn is fucking John Mulaney,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't want to wait that long.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I'm an asshole deep down. All right.
I think you want to be. I think you're trying to will yourself into being more of an
No,
asshole.
no. I've said mean things to people. I've hurt their feelings.
I bet you felt bad though.
Of course I did.
And you're not.
I'm a monster. There was a girl who was a little. I grew up with her because she was my best friend's little sister. Shout out Jamie if you're listening. And she would do this thing when she was little where she would be like, "Oh my God," and I would just repeat what she said and be like, "Oh my God, I'm Jamie," and I would just do that to her all the time. And then I never thought anything of it.
Yeah.
And then like I was visiting from college and she was like, "Yeah, I completely like changed the way I spoke because of that. I was so self-conscious." And I just was like, "Oh my God." No, I'm kidding.
So
No, but
mean.
I seriously was like so hurt. I mean, I wasn't hurt. I was hurt.
You
I was
felt
like,
bad that
I was
you
like,
hurt
I
her.
can't believe
Yeah.
that I did that
Yeah.
without, because hurting someone and
Yeah.
knowing you're hurting someone is one thing, but hurting someone and not even
Totally.
fucking realizing you're doing, you're like, oh
Totally.
my God,
100%.
what the fuck? And then there were definitely people that like I thought we were just joshing around, and I was just definitely being mean to them.
Yeah. I've looked back on things that I've done in the past and been like, "Oh, you were a cunt." Like to like people in high school or whatever, and I was like, "You were an asshole. You hurt that person's feelings very much."
Do you ever say something to somebody and you can like see the moment in their face where they don't think you're joking, and you're like,
Yes.
"Oh fuck."
Yes.
That's like my
Yes.
worst fear.
Yes, and I feel horrible every time, and you get better at reading it, but yeah, for sure, I've just been like, "Oh, we're just fucking around," and then it's like, "Oh, they're taking this to heart, and that was not my intention," and
But also,
I feel
fuck
awful.
those people. When you say something that
It depends.
isn't meant.
Sometimes as comics, we do take it too far.
What do you mean?
Like, here's the thing: if you get Jeselnik has this. Actually, he didn't say it, but he likes this quote. I think it's from like Johnny Cash or Willie Nelson, somebody, where it's like, if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. If I make you mad, fuck you. Like if I do something and you get mad at me
That's what I'm saying.
for what I said, go fuck yourself. But if I genuinely make you feel sad, that's never my intention.
Totally.
So I feel bad.
Totally.
So if I take it too far and you're like, oh, fuck you, I'm like, whatever, go grow up. But if you take it to heart and like it hurts you, I feel awful.
That's a great quote.
Yeah.
It's a really great quote.
It's not Jeselnik. He got it from somebody else,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
says it a lot. Like that's his mantra.
Yeah, the last thing I would ever want is to make someone sad.
Yeah.
That's just so fucked up. But then when people get mad irrationally, it bothers me. It makes me mad.
Yeah.
Like when you say something to somebody
yeah.
that isn't really anything, and then they
Right.
get like legitimately mad
Right.
about it, and you're like, "The fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Why are you?"
But then
being
if you
such a
dig into that emotion more, it's usually sadness.
yeah, it's
But
rooted
it's like,
in sadness.
but stop being an asshole about it.
And they're protecting it with
Right.
yeah. Or the worst is when somebody will say something to you and it hurts you and it makes you feel sad. So then you say something back to them and it makes them mad.
Right.
And now you can't get mad because they're mad. Be like, but you hurt me first.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I have weird moments. I actually have a lot of these moments, like a lot. And I'm so terrified that they're going to come out and bite me in the ass one day. But like some people will say something to me. I'm generally like, I like to think of myself as like, you can say literally anything to me and I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And but now there are things that people will say to me that just like hits a chord with me, and I almost feel like you can see in my face that it's affected me, and I feel so vulnerable in that moment, and I just don't know what to say, and I just feel like a little kid again. And when you're around comics, sometimes it happens with like people will make a joke about my dad,
Oh.
and it's like, why am I upset? I would have made that joke.
Right.
But then
That's what I mean. As comics, sometimes you don't know the line because you
Yeah.
always think we're all joking around all the time, and you're so desensitized to it, you don't realize that you struck a chord with somebody, or that that's not cool.
But I don't want them to think they did
Right.
strike a chord with me. But then I don't know how to react, and I feel like I kill the vibe by being like sad about it, or just being like, yeah,
Yeah.
It makes me feel so gross. And then
Yeah.
like have
You're
you
also
ever
allowed to have feelings, though.
I am, but around comics,
You are.
I just feel like I'm killing the because I hate when everybody's having a good time and then one person's like, let me just bring it down real quick. And I'm not gonna bring it down real quick, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like I owe it to people if we're having fun in a fun environment to perpetuate that.
Right, but that doesn't mean nothing's off limits.
Totally. But also like what they're saying should be on limit in the limits because I would have said that. Does that
I
make
see what you're
sense?
saying. Yeah, I
Like
see what
I
you're
make jokes
saying.
about my dad all the time, but then some people will just say something that's not even that bad,
Mm-hmm.
but it will just it's like sometimes I'll just see like a commercial and I'll just randomly dude, I